Round one. Fight!
Hey guys, welcome to Tier Ranker Fights. This is episode number 28. We're going to be doing best comedies 2010 until now. So I'm excited to bring this one to you, but this is one I've been wanting to do for a little while. It's part of our comedy series. Started with the 90s, around 2010. We're just kind of jumping around. So I'm going to introduce my panel for tonight. We got my co-host, Austin Pez Howell. How you doing?
Ha 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 ha! Man, there's a lot of comedies on this list, man. This might be our biggest chart we've had so far here on Tier Ranker Fights. Quality over quantity, we'll see. That's debatable, but we'll debate and find out. But it should be a fun show regardless.
Yeah, for sure. And then we got Amaru Moses joining us. How you doing, Amaru?
I am doing well. I'm tired. I've had long weeks and quick weekend trips back to back. But other than that, I'm excited to be here. Talk movies.
How that goes? I got a little quick weekend trip coming up myself this weekend. So,
and also, Amaru, this is our second show today. Jordan and I did a podcast earlier today, so this is our second time streaming today. So it's going to be two hour plus shows in one day. So yeah, it's going to be a long one. Oh yeah.
But we got some great people coming up.
It's going to be a fun show. I'm very excited. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we also have Paige Frabetti joining us. How you doing?
Hey, thank you guys so much for having me on. I mean, every time I get to share the screen with my talented partner in crime, Amaru, Silent Assassin, it's always a good time. And yeah, I can't wait to talk best comedies of 2010. So guess we'll see where everyone's comic relief lies. So
Right. We also have Peggy Gubbins joining us. How's it going?
I'm surrounded by suspects right now. It's a little unsettling.
Right?
Sorry, not sorry.
You knew me before I was a suspect, so it's all good.
But no, happy to be here. This should be a fun draft, or not draft ranking, whatever. That's fun.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I always have drafts in my head.
Well, Peggy was joined us for our 90s comedy show. So this is but those are a little way back in the time machine, and this one's a little more recent. Kind of hard to judge a little more recent comedies here. So we'll see where everybody's tastes lie. Oh yeah, I kind of tend to agree, but we'll see. But hey, with time comes classics, so some of these may become classics in due time. So we will see. But it'd be interesting debate.
Definitely. I'm going to throw up some rules here. We got some rules to just kind of keep some order to the chaos. They're just kind of some loose kind of rules, but I'll throw them up on the screen, kind of break them down. But basically, let's have a good, clean fight. Please do not talk or shout over each other. Please do be respectful of others' opinions. Each person will take turns to select a movie for ranking. The person who selected the movie will have 1 minute to explain which tier they think it should go in and why. And all of the participants will then have 1 minute to say whether they agree or disagree and may suggest a new ranking. The host, which will be me, will decide a ranking that averages out everyone's opinions and ask if the proposed ranking is acceptable. And at that point, we can have a little bit of a debate as to where the final ranking is gonna end up. So, but if you have any questions,
just to let everybody know, I keep my handy dandy notepad here with everybody's votes, so we can keep track of the consensus every time. And I kind of help Jordan organize the chart there with everybody's votes. So please, just when you're discussing, agreeing or disagreeing, just make sure you give me a letter ranking what you would give the movie, and we can keep track of everything. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll go
Most of
ahead.
y'all have been on the panel before, other than Maru, so
Bring
you
it
know
up.
you kind of know how it works. But it's pretty easy. You'll see how it goes. Very, very simple.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. So you can see how the tier ranker works. I mean, it just S for superior, and then A, B, C, D, so on and so forth. And then we do only allow 10 movies in the S tier, so we got to be a little picky about the S tier because tomorrow we're going to throw a poll into the Facebook group that we run, Schmodown Friends and Family, and we're going to put a vote to the community where we're going to have the top 10 plus 3 honorable mentions. So that's what we want to get, but we'll be ranking all over the place too. But there's a couple of extra categories. Like if there's one that we might all agree maybe it's not a comedy so much, then we can put it there. Or if there's one that enough of us haven't seen, we can throw it there. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and for our groups like this, we do need 3 qualifying votes to get it up on the charts. So if 3 people in the group if the majority have not seen it, it cannot be ranked based on just 1 or 2 people's votes. So just letting you know, there might be some on here that not everybody have seen, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, we do need at least 3 qualifying votes per movie, and we'll see where we go from there. And by the way, around the 2. And around the 2-hour mark, we kind of start to round it out. We go into like a Hail Mary round, throwing things up in the S or A tier at the last minute. So we'll keep track of time that way. But again, if anybody needs to take a quick break, just step away for a second. We keep it casual. No worries there.
Yeah. And then I did notice I ended up with a double here, so I'm just going to throw this extra Booksmart.
I was going to say, well, Booksmart obviously has to be in
just down
here because it's
right,
the student, so it's meant to be.
And I see he put up Jackass 3.5 instead of Jackass 3D. So yeah, couple little typos here and there. No worries. We know what you mean.
The logo. The movie poster for Jackass 3D was like pretty generic, so I wanted to have something that like looked a little cooler. So I mean, it'll be the same thing. It'll represent Jackass 3D is what it is. So, but yeah, so
we've got a lot of movies on the chart. So we always start at kind of the bottom of the Mortal Kombat tower, as we like to call it. So PG Peggy, you are up first in the order. You get to nominate any movie out of these 70 movies you want to talk about. So
wow,
and things off, set the pace.
Pressure is on. All right, I'm gonna go with one that I think
and
belongs.
Also, just want to. I was gonna let you know, just real quick, we're not gonna be able to get to all of them. So like just be forewarned. This is just a huge pool to choose from. We're gonna go into roughly the 2-hour mark, and then we'll just wrap it up and kind of figure out a final ranking for our top 10 at the 2-hour mark, and then we'll wrap up the show, and that'll be it. So, but yeah, Peggy, you're up. So go ahead.
Okay, so there's a few that I want to mention, but I think the one that I want to mention straight out the gate is the one that I think absolutely everyone on the panel should agree with me belongs in S tier, and that is 21 Jump Street. 21 Jump Street is probably one of my favorite comedies of that decade. I mean, who knew that Channing Tatum had that kind of comedic chops? I definitely did not before this movie. Him and Jonah Hill, you wouldn't think the chemistry would be there just on like paper, but it is off the charts on the screen. I love this movie. You have cackle moments like strewn like every 5-10 minutes throughout the whole thing. It is one of my favorites of the decade, and I think it belongs at S tier. Let's see what the rest of the panel says.
All right. PG's ready to lay down the law if nobody agrees with her, is what it seems like. So we'll see what everybody says.
Right.
But Paige, what do you think of 21 Jump Street?
I mean, I personally think it's definitely better than 22 Jump Street. I mean, I was thinking more of like the A tier, but I mean, going back to this movie, like obviously it is a remake of the TV show from the late 80s, early 90s with Johnny Depp in it. And I mean, obviously the show is very different from the movie in a sense, because this is way more comedic chops to it. And I don't know, kind of like what Peggy said though, that like who knew the chemistry between Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum would have just like shined through the screen the way it did in a sense. And like this is probably my favorite buddy cop film. So I would be down for this in the S tier.
Okay.
All right. Well
she agrees.
Well, Mara, what do you think?
Quick question: is this the one that has the funniest scene ever when we find out that Jonah Hill is having sex with Ice Cube's daughter?
Yes.
No, that's the second
That's
one.
the second one.
That is the sequel. That is
Oh, the second one.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yes.
so then I got a problem here.
Yeah.
I've seen both of
I'm the
these
same way.
movies. I've seen both of these movies one time, and I remember laughing at them, but not like having anything memorable except that scene. That scene is probably one of the most hilarious scenes I've ever seen in my life. Period.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd mind S tier just because of consensus, but for me, I'd probably put it at A just because. And I'm just gonna go out straight out based off this list in 2010s. 90s is definitely going to be more comedy for me because a lot of these 2010s, I wouldn't put many of these up in S tier in general.
Yeah.
I would say A tier because I'm gonna keep it true to myself with that. But I wouldn't mind S, but I would say I drop it down to A.
Fuck you, science.
Yeah, right. Well, Austin, what do you think?
I agree 1,000%. This is one of my S tier rankings of the list. Again, I only have a few I would put probably in the S tier from this decade, at least so far. Again, time can tell on some of these and rewatches. This is one I have gone back to and rewatched a lot. I think the drug montage where the two of them are tripping out is one of the funniest montages I've ever seen. Like when Channing Tatum it's like the ship horn. He's
Yeah.
Stop holding
and then it turns to the ice cream tone. Yeah, like Jonah Hill using the baton like in the race as a penis and like throwing it all over the place and just like it's one of the funniest things ever. Ice Cube is fantastic in both of those movies, but he's great in 21 Jump Street as well. You know, keep your dirty dick in your pants, you know, shit like that. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100% with. I'll vote for S tier. Absolutely.
Well, finally, some love for 21 Jump Street. We had this on another one. I think I can't remember what episode that it was, and nobody wanted to put it next year but me. So, like, I'm
hey, I will correct you, Jordan. What you were arguing for was 22 Jump Street in our sequels episode.
You're right.
And nobody agreed that it
sequels.
was better than 21 Jump Street on that panel, which is why we didn't put it in S tier.
If only you had Rue there with you at that point.
clarification.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, this one's tough for me because I'm also with Amaru with the scene where we find out Jonah Hill slept with Ice Cube's daughter. It's like one of the funniest scenes, hands down. So like, I'm kind of split. I'll probably, I don't know, I'll have to say A for this one because I got to go S tier for the other one when we get to it. But
okay.
Yeah, I would say A. So.
Well, with
three S tiers, so
with 3 S's and 2 A's, it stays in S tier for right now, and we will see where it ends up.
I'll take it. I'll take
majority rules. So we have our first official S tier, and that scene though 22, we're just like we did missionary, more missionary. It's fantastic. I do enjoy that very much, but. The hockey player, the badass, is up now. Miss Paige, you are up and ready for a nomination. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna switch it up. I won't give one of my S tiers up first because it friggin' better go up there. So maybe someone else will put it up there before I do. But I'm gonna go with something that I don't think is that good, and I don't think it's that funny, and I think it's because it got outshined by another flick that came out the same year, which is Blockers. I'm going to give Blockers a D. I did not think that movie was funny at all. D for Blockers because you're blocking the dick because it did not make me hard. It did not make me laugh at all. The other movie that came out the same year was Game Night, and I think that was just a far more superior film than Blockers. So yeah, I'm just going to have to go. I was also thinking Tag too when I was thinking of this. Like, should I go Tag or Blockers? But D for Blockers, D dick. Okay. I think it works out perfectly. But I don't know what you guys think. I just personally, I think John Cena is great in the comedic role when he's not the lead. I think when you get him as a good supporting character, like in Sisters, I believe he was.
Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Like he's great in the comedic chops as a supporting character, but in this film as like a lead man, It just didn't do it for me at all. And this movie wasn't that funny. So yeah. Thanks, Malcolm.
Malcolm agrees with you.
Yep. But yeah, well, Mario, what do you think for blockers?
Strong D, yeah. Paige cock blocking blockers right up at the beginning.
Yeah.
So do you agree with her?
I agree that Game Night is better, but this movie is funny. Geraldine Viswanathan is a delight. I was surprised as hell when I saw this film. I was like, I laughed. I laughed out loud. It's not the greatest of greatest films, but I'd give it a solid C. I enjoyed the shit out of this movie. I thought in general the entire crew was funny. I went in like just looking for something to watch. It was like, hopefully I'll laugh, and I laughed a lot in this film. So I completely disagree with the failing grade. But I would give it a solid C. I'd give it a solid C.
Hey,
hey.
We got Jordan Owens chiming in. How's it going, Jordan?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey.
Good to have you. But yeah, so Austin, what do you think of blockers?
I'll continue the slightly upward trend of blockers. I'll give it a B. It's not like I'm not putting it in any kind of S or A tier. But I've only seen it once, but I do remember laughing quite a bit. I enjoyed it. I disagree that John Cena is the lead. I think he's just more of an ensemble. I don't think there's really a solid lead other than some of the younger girls in the movie. And I can't believe y'all are showing a little more respect for a female director there for Kay Cannon. So, I thought she did a pretty good job with it. Again, not the greatest movie in the world. I wouldn't put it in the S tier, but I give it a solid B is where I'd throw B for blockers.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm a little more with Austin, and like I'm probably hovering around a B for blockers. So, but I mean, like just the ensemble cast. I mean, you have Leslie Mann in there. You have Ike Barinholtz, Catherine Newton, like some of those. So like I like all that, especially Geraldine Viswanathan, and she's great in that show Miracle Workers. Like I'm a big fan of Miracle Workers, so she's fun in watching that. But yeah, I would give it a solid B. Like I thought there were some definite solid laugh out loud moments, but not like anything near the S tier, I would say. So, but we have Jordan Owens.
Jordan, welcome to the show. Yeah, and Jordan, if you want to, since you just got here, you can also chime in on 21 Jump Street if you like, whatever grade you'd give it. So if you want to kind of knock out a grade for both of them, go right ahead, please.
Yeah.
21 Jump Street, I think is correctly ranked. I mean, on paper, it's one of those movies, kind of in the Lego movie field where, I don't know if anyone was really expecting what we got. And it just, it took it a fun direction and really kind of gave Channing Tatum a whole new career as well. So that's correctly ranked. Blockers, not everything works here, but it is a fun ensemble cast here. Like you said, Cena is kind of, I think he has the right amount of screen time. He's very funny. He's an overprotective dad wearing shorts. He loves his shorts. And Geraldine's really funny. She's someone that I immediately was like, oh, I want to see more of her. I like the other two younger females as well. Leslie Mann's always good. I love Ike Barinholtz. I'm happy when he's in anything. So I would say it's more in the B, C. I'll give it a B as well. Be nice to it.
Okay.
All right. So what do we average, Austin? What do you?
Well, PG needs to chime in, I believe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's right. Forget about me, Austin. That's
yeah,
great.
Sorry.
No,
I didn't forget about you, Peggy. I brought it up. I'm keeping track.
Yeah, right.
To even things out a little bit, I'm going to agree with Paige at the D score of this one. I love Ike Barinholtz, Chicago guy. Shout out to him. I like almost everything Leslie Mann is in except for her role in Big Daddy, but she was meant to be dislikable in Big Daddy, so she played that role well. But yeah, this one, I mean, I nothing in this movie stood out to me. Like most of the panel here, I saw it only once. I remember laughing a couple of times, but it was never anything that I was going to revisit at any point that crossed my mind. I mean, I remember tuning out a few times in the movie, looking at my phone, and probably missed some funny things that you guys gave it a B rating for. But yeah, I'm going to agree with the D rating, just probably end up in the C range. I think that's probably about fitting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got 3 Bs, a C, and a D, which kind of averaged out to about a C plus. So it gets bumped up just a little bit up into the C ranking. So So yeah, but not quite as bad as the D, not in the failing range, but yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So all right, but we move up the rank to Amaru. What do you want to your first nomination? What do you got?
All right, I want to point out a movie that I think does not get as much love as it should, and I'm going to put it in the B range. But it was a return to form for somebody that I've been waiting for a return to form for a long time. And if I really think about it, I may even put it as an A, more because it's just a good movie, not necessarily like the big laugh, gut busting laughs, just the fact that you watched it and you loved it. Dolomite Is My Name. That My Name was a complete return to form for Eddie Murphy.
Where's it at? Here, you have to point it out to see it.
And his dramatic chops as well were in there, right there in between Bad Words and Booksmart.
Down.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna start it off as a B. I'd love to get it up to an A, but thinking about it, I think you know what? Keep it an A. Just keep it an A.
It's your vote. You can vote for whatever you want. If you want to set the pace, it's your vote.
It's an A movie because Again, it's not necessarily complete laugh out loud like front to back, but front to back, it's just you're smiling the entire time. This gives you 90s Eddie Murphy vibes. And then I cannot remember. Oh my gosh, I know Joy's in her name, but his co-star in this film, she was absolutely amazing. The ensemble is great.
Divine Joy Randolph.
Yes, Divine Joy Randolph. Thank you. She is amazing in this film. And then the entire cast kills it. So I really love this movie when I saw it. And I want to show it some love. So Dolomite Is My Name.
All right. Well, Austin, what do you think for Dolomite?
Yeah, unfortunately, this is one I just didn't get around to in time for the show. I really tried to. It was on my list, and I just didn't get a chance to get to it. I've been meaning to get around to it. So, unfortunately, I have to abstain from voting because I have not seen it.
Yeah, and also, there's only one movie I haven't seen in this whole entire list, and it actually is Dolomite. I haven't seen it either. So,
damn,
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
So I got to abstain it as well. So we'll throw it over to Jordan. What do you think? Have you seen Dolomite?
I have, guys. Get to it very much. As he said, I've always kind of rooted for Eddie Murphy, man. When he has those bright spots, man, he totally kills it. And this is it's a better script. It's funny. Divine's fantastic. Shout out to Keegan-Michael Key. He's always a great supporting actor as well. He's good in it. And yeah, it's worth checking out. It's a movie that got everyone excited before the Coming to America sequel. But this one's really good. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at A.
What are you talking about? That doesn't exist.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, right.
It was a bad fever dream. Sorry, I must have had a bad dream.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan agrees with the A. Peggy, have you seen it? And what do you rank it?
I absolutely have seen it. Eddie Murphy is like one of my all-time favorite people. Like when people ask me, like, if you could have dinner with like 5 people dead or alive, who would it be? Eddie Murphy is always on that list for me. I have adored him ever since Delirious and Raw and Coming to America. This was a good movie. It wasn't his greatest, but I agree with Rue. It is a bit of a return to form for him. He was doing a little bit more of the child-friendly stuff, and this definitely was not. And one of the things I loved about this, you got to see return of Wesley Snipes. And Wesley Snipes is another guy who had a huge run in the 90s, and it was good to see him come back.
Yeah.
Well, what ranking would you give it, by the way? I just need to catch the ranking.
I'd probably put it at about a B, but A works for me.
Okay.
All right, Paige, what do you think of Dolomite?
Honestly, for me, I love this movie, and to echo what everyone else said, this was definitely like redefined Eddie Murphy's career. Obviously, we're not going to count Coming to America 2, but this movie was so good. I mean, the fact that it's like also like a remake too of Dolomite itself. It's the whole supporting cast and Eddie Murphy are just so amazing in this film. And I personally think this is one of the biggest like Oscar snubs ever. I think it.
No, those Oscar snobs not nominating Eddie Murphy. I understand.
I definitely think it should have been nominated. Like I think Eddie Murphy should have been nominated, or at least like Wesley Snipes for like supporting. To me, pretty sure on Rotten Tomatoes it has like a 97%, and I mean that definitely shows. And I completely agree. I would give this movie an A.
All right.
Well,
we did get enough votes despite me and Jordan's abstaining. Yeah, we got 3 A's and a B, so it sits solidly in the A tier right now.
All right.
All right.
Solid A. So you're up, Austin. So
all right. Well, I'm going to show love to a movie that I have gone back to many, many times from earlier in this decade, starring people as versions of themselves. And I'm going to go with This Is the End.
Okay.
For the S tier, and I'm shooting for S tier on this one.
Yeah.
It's at the bottom, I believe, like the very bottom.
That's it. Oh yeah. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think?
It's a great premise. You've got Seth Rogen, Jay Baruchel, James Franco, Danny McBride, this amazing cast, Jonah Hill, all playing themselves. Amazing cameos from tons of people. Michael Cera and Rihanna and
Emma Watson,
Paul Rudd, and just amazing, like just an array of people. Channing Tatum as well, who shows up at the end, much like in 21 Jump Street as the cannibal bitch. It's wonderful. But not only is it a great comedy, but I think the movie itself is actually really well done with this kind of rapture thing that it sets up. I think the effects are actually really well done. It's a lot of fun. It keeps you kind of on your toes, and I think all these guys are amazing at playing these exaggerated versions of themselves. You got some tremendous set pieces throughout it. Danny McBride has one of the great entrances of a character I've ever seen in that movie, smoking the blunt in the bathtub and coming out to Cypress Hill. Amazing entrance. I think this movie is one of the ones on this list that I've gone back to, much like 21 Jump Street, many, many times. And when it comes down to this list, that counts for me as far as things that I go back to for this decade. So I'm going to go with This Is the End.
Well, for me, I think that This Is the End is a great movie. Like I love the cast, got a huge cast. My favorite in the movie is probably Michael Cera. Like I just love it. His whole like drug addicted kind of craziness that he vibe that he brings.
Shit out of him for real.
Right. Yep. And also too, give a shout out to Emma Watson too. She's pretty solid in it too. And then, but for me, I don't know if I could quite give it an S. Like I'd give it like a solid A, probably even an A plus. I'd put it at the top of A. So I mean, I wouldn't be mad if it made it in the S tier. Like I'd be totally fine with it. But I think for me, a solid A is what I would say. But Jordan, what do you think?
Yeah, I love this one a lot. I'm glad we're talking about it. Great premise. As Austin said, the budget's definitely on the screen. It looks good too. You're kind of wrapped up in this world. That's my only qualms, is that I wish we saw more of this world. Like this could be a sequel. This could be a trilogy. I wish we got this instead of Neighbors too, because I want to see more of that Channing Tatum, Danny McBride relationship.
But they're dead, so it's kind of hard to do a sequel when they're dead.
No, but maybe the world could. I'm just saying, I wanted more of that world, that time frame before the whole world explodes. Of just how they.
I don't want to know what he's doing with Channing.
I do. I want to know where'd Paul Rudd go. I want to know where Paul Rudd went. I want to know more. I just think it's great. It's a lot of fun. Evil Michael Cera, the opening party scene, which has everybody from Kevin Hart to Rihanna to everybody's in that scene. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to agree, though, give it an A. I'm going to put it in the A as well.
All right. We got another A. Peggy, what do you think?
All right. I'm like A plus, S minus. So whatever you want to take that down as, Austin, I'll let you have at it.
Unfortunately, when it comes to picking between S and A, I kind of need one or the other, because that's a very important borderline. Like if you were saying B, C, that'd be not as an important borderline. I kind of need one or the other. Honestly, keep track of the votes.
Well,
so
just
you might have to make a tough decision.
I have faith that other people might put it in S, so I'm going to give it an A. So
okay.
I don't know why, but anyways, a bit embarrassing, but it is my truth, so I have to own it. I was a huge Backstreet Boys fan back in the day.
Me too.
The fact that you get a Backstreet Boys cameo at the very end of this movie, it's fantastic. I mean, I agree with everything that everyone else was saying about it, but I just want to.
Who was your favorite?
Nick Carter was my favorite.
I'm an AJ
guy. But yes, getting that cameo at the end, completely unexpected. I did not know that was coming. I don't know if it was in the trailer or not, but I remember being there like, no way, what the good comedy. I will grant you, but I don't know if there's other ones that I think should be an S, and there's 10 of them, and this was not one of the ones that I think should be S, so I'll give it an A.
Okay.
All right, Paige, what do you think?
For me personally, I mean, I actually like this is like one of the movies that I can just like watch like 24/7 and totally be
Damn
okay
right.
with it. And I just like love the premise that they're all playing themselves, even though it's just more of a hyped up version or just not them at all. I don't know. For me personally, I mean, there are 10 slots on the S tier that we do have to worry about. But for me, honestly, looking at this majority of this list, though, like I would put this in the S tier. Like this is one of the movies that I can watch 24/7. I love Seth Rogen. I think Seth Rogen and what's his partner in crime? Evan Goldberg? Goldenberg?
Yeah,
Goldberg,
Evan
right?
Goldberg, yeah.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
I
they
think
co-directed it.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, for besides Superbad, which isn't on our list, I like this is like one of their best movies, I think. So for me, yeah, I'm gonna put it in the S tier, but what do you think, Amaru?
Yeah, what do you think?
I can recognize that this is a good movie, but I did not care for it. I saw it. I smiled. I was like, "This is cool. I'm never seeing this again."
There you go.
I maybe some of their comedy is hit and miss for me. I think like Knocked Up is it's fucking hilarious. And I Love You Man is one of my. It's like not the same, but kind of in the same vein. One of my favorite comedies of all time. This Is the End doesn't do it for me. I'm giving it a B.
Fair.
I'm gonna keep it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's fair. So,
All right. Well, with 2
Who
S's, 3 A's, and a B, only because This Is the End got S votes and Dolomite did not, it goes in the S tier, but at the top above Dolomite for right now.
All right.
And it's still, with the 2 S votes, it still is in contention to possibly bump up into the S later if we don't get there, or honorable mentions. So we'll see what happens by the time we get to the end of the show.
Cool.
All right. But it's our host turn. It's Jordan's turn. What do you got, Jordan?
So I want to give some love to my favorite director, Taika Waititi. I got to do What We Do in the Shadows. So let me find it here. I know it's around.
It was
here
on the left,
somewhere.
I think.
Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah.
Jordan,
So,
I'm
like,
so
this-
glad you picked this because that was going to be one of my picks. But I mean, I got to hear
Me
where
too.
you're going to put it,
Yes.
though. I guess so.
We'll see. I know where he's going to put
I'm
it.
gonna put it in the S tier all the way. Like this is like one of my favorite movies. Like I love this movie. Just the like the comedy that they have, like the like dry humor, but like putting it in like with vampires, just like living everyday life, trying to just be like normal people, but they're these like vampires, and like just all the craziness. You have some that are kind of low key. You have some that are very theatrical. Then you even have the one crazy vampire that's like from ancient times or whatever. And so yeah, like it's just yeah, Pita. Yeah. But yeah, like it's just so great. And like I really want to see the like true battle between the werewolves and the vampires. I think that's like one of my favorite scenes in that.
I want my spin-off movie with the with the werewolves, God damn it.
Yeah.
Where's my spin-off movie? Where's What We Do in the Moonlight?
Yeah.
We're not werewolves with werewolves.
Nice.
No, we're not werewolves. We're werewolves.
We're not werewolves.
Yeah.
We're not werewolves. We're werewolves. That's great.
Or like trying
Jordan,
to
what do
feed
you
the
think?
familiar some sketchy. So there's that too, like the whole scene where they're doing that, make it look like
Sketchy.
or whatever. So yeah, but yeah, Jordan, what do you think?
Yeah, I was late to the party on this one. I don't know why. This is not one I jumped to right away. Maybe it was just the documentary thing threw me off. And boy, did I slap myself silly once I found these characters. This is so funny. Obviously, one of the first things I saw of Taika, and then, now just following his journey. And oh man, Rice Darby, I believe, is the main werewolf. He's so funny. Like you guys said, it makes you want more. It definitely is why we got the TV show later on FX, because you want to be more into this world here. And yeah, this is super funny. It's only 10 spots, but I'll go ahead and agree. I'll go ahead and keep it in the S for now. I'm with it, man. This is a really good one.
Let's go. Well, Peggy, what do you think?
Incurring Paige's wrath in 5, 4, 3. I haven't seen this one yet.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least I thought she was going to be like, "Oh, I hate this movie."
I haven't seen it. I'm just waiting for Paige to go.
I haven't seen it. I'm fine with that. You need to see it. It's very good.
Paige is like, why isn't there a Taika Waititi wheel wedge right now?
I know. Now they need a Taika Waititi whale slice. That's
I'd be okay
all I'm
with
saying.
that.
Because I am obsessed
Yeah,
with
right.
every single one of his movies. and I'm sorry
Same.
I'm taking over the rest of your spiel, but you haven't seen the
go
movie,
ahead.
so I'm talking now.
God,
This
Go
is
for it.
one of the best.
I yield my time.
This is one of the best
I yield my
mockumentaries.
time to the woman from Boston.
Yes, sometimes you got it. This is one of the best mockumentaries ever made. I mean, I'm obsessed with Taika Waititi. I was actually very surprised that Hunts for the Wilder People wasn't on our list because that's probably
I
my
almost wanted to add it. Like,
that was my other favorite Taika Waititi movie. This movie
same.
is just phenomenal. It was so good that they had to make a TV show about it because it was that good. Like, I can't rave enough about this. A lot of people have not seen this movie because, I mean, I think it came out in what? 2014? Yeah, well, I think it came out in 2014. Like in Australia and New Zealand and stuff, and I think it hit the US in like 2015, if I'm right. I don't know. But this definitely went under the radar for so many people, and it definitely wasn't like a huge box office success. But oh man, I remember when I first found this movie, probably in like 2016. When I first found it, I showed everyone this movie, and I watched it 75 million times. I'm obsessed with it. It's so good. Like, this is how you do a funny vampire movie. So 100% this deserves to be in the S tier. It's, to me, I think it's Taika Waititi's best film, hands down.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And I gotta throw out the comment from Malcolm because he's also from New Zealand, just like Taika.
Yep.
So we'll throw it up there. We'll show some New Zealand love. but yeah, Maru, what do you think of what we do in the shadows?
I'm gonna keep it short. This is the best film on the list. It should be at the top. It's S.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I
Like,
might
I would
have to watch
agree.
it
I
tonight.
didn't go as far as to do that for now.
Let me see
So-
if they have the digital code because then I can send it to you. Peggy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That was pressing. You need to do that right now.
Where is my what we doing there?
Well, that said, Austin, what do you think?
1,000% S tier. I think
There's
this
no
might
digital code.
be my favorite of the. This might be my favorite of the list too. I think
definitely
it's
my
got a good
favorite.
chance of being
I got
the top or the top three. So I'm 1,000% on S tier on this one as well.
Yep.
So I'll keep it
Right
short.
on.
It's a clean sweep, 5 out of 5. Well, we haven't one
Unanimous.
non-vote, but everybody that did vote voted for S tier, so it's at the top of the list right now.
I got some work to do tonight.
with a bullet.
Yep.
So
It's
Yeah.
so good. Yeah, I
Mhm.
I'll
personally
report
think this
back in
is.
the morning.
Yep, I personally think
Yeah.
this is the best comedy on this list.
yeah, same here.
Yeah. So with that, we'll throw it over to Jordan, and you're up. You want to pick one and talk about it.
Like whatever you want.
All right. Let's see here. Some good ones on here.
Oh,
Let's
good
go. Let's go with Pop Star Never Stop, Never
Mhm.
Stopping.
There we go.
I think this one has a good repeat value to it. It's a fun movie, whether it's in the background and you pay full attention to it. It's sadly underperformed at the box office from what I recall. I remember seeing it with like 4 people in my theater like week 2, wondering where everyone was at. I just thought it was so fun here. Andy Samberg, not totally a Bieber impersonation. There's Bieber aspects to it as well, but there's just so many funny gags here between him and his Lonely Island cohorts. So many people popping up in it as well. So I won't say it's S, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say A. If it goes down a little bit, I would understand, but I think it's a really good one.
Well, sounds good. Well, Peggy, what do you think for Popstar?
Okay, so Christy V has been trying to get me to watch this one for the longest time, and I got through like 15 minutes of it, and then something else came up, and I never got back to it, and she still gives me grief, like probably at least on a monthly basis that I haven't gotten through it yet. But in honor of her, I'm going to at least vote A because I trust her judgment in comedies, so I'm sure it's really, really good. I just haven't gotten through the whole thing.
All right. Well, fair enough. Paige, what do you think?
I'm not gonna lie, I have not seen this movie, and it does not interest me one bit to watch it. So
Oh,
that's
really?
my take on it. So
All right. Well,
Paige, just a quick question, Paige, related to that. Have you seen Hot Rod from 2007?
I've only seen bits and pieces of Hot Rod. I've never
Okay.
seen
Hot
the
Rod is the
entire
best.
film.
I
would
do
just
hate
say
Andy Samberg.
because if you
Yeah,
like Hot
I-
Rod, you would love Popstar because it's the same group of people making the movies. So that's,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
the only reason.
yeah, I
would
don't
say
know.
that.
Maybe I'm just not a fan of him. I truly kind of
Okay.
don't think he's that funny. But maybe that's me because I think he's obnoxious.
All right.
But
All right, Amaru.
well, it's all subjective, but
The Chronic
Amara, what do you think?
Narnia.
Red Vines, crazy delicious.
The greatest, the greatest snack ever, though Twizzlers and Dr. Pepper is the better version. I'm wondering what you two gentlemen are going to say about it, because I've also not seen this movie.
Okay.
I told you in the before, no one saw this thing.
Man.
Well, I know for a fact
Austin?
Jordan and I have seen it. We might have similar thoughts. I'm going to go S tier for Popstar because I adore Popstar. It's amazing. It is one of the few ones that I would put in the S tier from this list. I rewatched it again like 2 days ago. It holds up. All the segments are really funny. It's another great, almost like a mockumentary style as well, kind of a faux documentary kind of following him. All the individual actual music segments are fantastic. The Fuck Bin Laden song is one of the funniest songs out there. It's really, really funny, but it's also just super entertaining, and it's about 90 minutes, which is a sweet spot for a comedy. So I'm going to actually go higher than y'all and go S tier for Popstar.
Well, I will concur with you. I'm going to go S tier, Austin. I don't know if I would go super high. Like I rate it a little low.
I would put it below 21 for right now. Yeah, but you know.
Yeah. But it's the same thing. When we watched it, I only seen it only in theaters. It was the only time I'd ever seen it. So I rewatched it about 2 days ago also, and like I was just laughing like quite a bit. So and also the like whole I'm So Humble song too. That one always gets me too. So yeah, like with the movie, you get an entire album. You get, it was just a good time. So yeah, I would have to go S tier. So
even though this movie is still so high up, I still will never want to watch this movie.
All right,
that's your choice. Well,
really
we got
got
2 and 2, so we got 2 S and 2 A. So it kind of stays down in A. I kind of feel like to be an S, it needs at least 3 S votes. Personally. But it's still kind of right around this, where this is the end is kind of right near the top of the A tier.
It can still get elevated.
It could get elevated, absolutely. Yeah, it depends on what happens throughout the show. Things can get bumped up from A to S if need to at the end. So we'll see what happens. But Jordan mentioned Popstar, so I think we're back all the way around to Peggy, like we started with. So
yeah,
all right,
Peggy.
Yeah, you're up
okay.
Again. What do you
so this movie is an S tier for me personally. I'm very curious to see what the rest of the panel has to say about it, if you've even seen it, because it is a rom-com, and I'm picking Long Shot. This is one that I had messaged the group before the show that it wasn't on the original list. I'm like, Long Shot needs to be there. Long Shot absolutely needs to be there. I absolutely adore this movie. Who knew Seth Rogen could be sexy when he does that when he's in the tux and the shot when she's getting off the elevator and turns around, and I was just like, all right, Seth, I see you. But the best part of this movie is O'Shea Jackson Jr. He steals the film as Seth Rogen's best friend. Everyone deserves a best friend like Lance in this movie. I adore him in this movie. And it's very one where it's like, you see, it's a guy who's supporting the woman as opposed to the woman supporting the man. And like, it's like kind of like a role reversal. Like they say in the trailer, it's like Pretty Woman, except you're Julia Roberts and she's Richard Gere. That type of feel to it. I don't know if you guys have seen this one, but it is one of my favorites of the decade. And for me, it is S tier. What say you, panel?
Yeah. Well, Paige, what do you think?
I actually really enjoyed this movie when it came out. I remember when I first saw the trailers, I was like, this looks like it might just be like a stupid, like funny rom-com. But I really did enjoy this movie, and I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the chemistry between Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen, who would have thought? Who would have thought they would have matched up so well? And I do just want to give a funny story. I don't know if we remembers this, but do you remember we got a question one time on Long Shot in one of our study sessions, and Liz and I both for OJ Jackson Jr. They were like, "What is Lance's name?" and like, "Who plays Lance?" Like the best friend. We both said Ice Cube Jr. because he's not.
He is.
They would never accept it in the showdown. So I'm known for a damn sure.
I mean, when you play Ice Cube in a movie, you kind of become Ice Cube Jr. So I mean, that's enough, right? I mean,
I will never forget his name now. It is O.J. Jackson Jr.
O'Shea.
O'Shea. That's what I meant. That's what I said. Yeah, right now.
I'm keeping count of Paige mispronunciations. That's 2, Paige. There you go.
Oh man. O'Shea.
Well, Amaru, what do you think?
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna go
real
A.
quick, Paige,
Sorry,
yeah, I
I'm
was
gonna go
gonna
A.
say.
I
Okay.
like this
Nice.
movie,
Gotcha.
but I don't know.
Oh, A, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not
maybe
first
at some point when we're going through this list, maybe if we're able to switch stuff around, maybe I'll put it in the S. But as of right now, I look at it as like an A.
I'll take it.
It's amazing.
I will take it.
But
All right, Morrow.
So
Yeah,
you know how Peggy just said that Christy has told
Yep.
her to watch Pop Star like every month. Well, Peggy tells me to watch Long Shot like every day. And
That's a bit of an exaggeration, but not too far off.
it's not too far off. And I was like, I'm gonna get to it. And I'm legit sad right now. I'm so sorry because I was like, I'm gonna go watch Long Shot. And then something came up and I haven't. And
It's
really
like me with Pop Star. It's it happens.
the difference. I really want to see this movie. Like I really want to, but studying and other things in the way. I haven't seen it, and it's probably the next thing on my
No,
list.
stop studying. Go watch the movie Long Shot. It's fine.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
it's in
There
the
you go.
Boom
Drop
realm,
everything,
right?
go watch it. Yeah. Well, Austin, what do you think for Long Shot?
I am encouraged by the love it's getting, but again, I have to abstain. I missed Long Shot in the theaters, and I have not got around to it. I know when it got added to the list, I tried to work some stuff in, but work did not allow me to work in as many movies as I wanted to study for this one. We've had a lot of other stuff going on the channel, so I've had to prep for, so it's very, very, very difficult. But I will get around to it.
I get to see it for the first time.
Yeah, I do.
Yep,
I will,
exactly.
and because of the love you guys are giving, I will definitely check it out. But I have to abstain.
Well, unlike the other two guys, I have seen Long Shot. I thought it was great. Like Charlize Theron, probably in my top 5 actresses working today. Like I think she is amazing. I freaking love Charlize Theron. And probably though I wouldn't quite give it an S. I'd probably give it like a high A. But I think that it's a great movie that really surprised me. Like going into it, I didn't go in with very high expectations. I just kind of like this just seems like a weird kind of duo together, you know. I don't know if it's really gonna work, and it actually did work really well. So yeah, so I'll give it a high A. I'll leave it at that. But Jordan, what do you think?
This may come down to Jordan where it ends up if he's seen it. What do you think, Jordan?
I have. I will add to the love. This is another one where on paper, you kind of hear about it and you go, oh, I don't know, let's see how that works. But the chemistry's there, man. The writing's there. It's funny. It's charming. It's got little things to say, but it's not overabundance with the politics stuff. But it's there. Unrecognizable Andy Serkis is fun as well. Unrecognizable, which I believe was his idea. I believe it was his idea. I think they were fine with him just being himself, but he's like, "No, let's have fun." And he's crazy in it. But yeah, I'm gonna give it an A as well. It's definitely something I would say check out when you can because it's a pretty good one.
Yeah. I think with that,
so tallying up
right
the
around
votes, we got only one S and 3 A's, so it actually goes right above Dolomite and below This Is the End because This Is the End had 2 S votes. So it kind of goes right in between right there. But it's still solidly in the A, and you never know what could happen. We'll see what happens in the grade.
Thank you,
right.
Bill.
But with that, we move on to the Boston Badass for her next nomination.
You're up, Paige.
I mean, I'm surprised no one has said this yet. So this is gonna be my first S tier pick, I think, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
I mean, hello, 2011. Guy created one of my favorite shows. The Office is Bridesmaids, guys. How have we not discussed this? This movie needs to be in the S tier. I think it is one of the best comedies ever, not just in 2010, but one of the best comedies ever.
It was up near the top.
Go down.
I can't see shit on this because I
No,
don't
go
Stay still, Jordan. Stay still for a second. We're looking.
It's right there.
I know I just saw it.
Very middle.
Before Guardians.
Bottom row, middle.
After
Keep going down.
Bottom row, middle.
Down. Underneath, sorry to bother you.
Yeah, right.
Underneath, sorry to bother you.
There we
There
go.
we go. Bridesmaids. There it is. All right.
There we go.
Okay.
I was pointing at my screen like you could see.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you can see where I'm pointing way down here.
Yeah. This movie deserves to be in the A tier. I mean, it's written by Kristen Wiig and one of the other main characters, Annie Malolo. I can't pronounce her name. Sorry. That's like
That's
4
right.
times I mispronounced words now. Yeah, that's 3. But yeah, no, this movie deserves to be in the S tier. I think it's one of the best comedies ever. Yeah, I think Kristen Wiig is hilarious in this movie. So yeah.
Well, Amaru, what do you think of Bridesmaids?
This was gonna be my next pick. If nobody picked it, I didn't want people to be like, somebody will pick it eventually, and then it never got picked. It's S tier. This is probably my number 2. This is one of the biggest laughs I've gotten in the last decade from front to back. The scene after the Brazilian, yeah, that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Just completely surprised by it. Absolutely hilarious. I love Bridesmaid to death. It's an S tier movie.
That scene and the car scene when she's trying to get the cops' attention, doing all the crazy shit. I think those are like one of the funniest scenes ever.
Yep. But Austin, what do you think for Bridesmaids?
I will vote S, but I'll kind of do a low S. I'm not gonna say it's better than 21 or What We Do in the Shadows, only because for me, they're the only one thing that knocks it. It's too long. It's like 2 hours and 10 minutes. It's too long. I think it kind of drags getting to the end, which unfortunately a lot of the things Judd Apatow produces, he has a real weird thing with making comedies that are like 2 hours and 10 minutes, which I think, again, the sweet spot for comedies is like 90, 100 minutes. And you get in, you get out. And I think his movies just drag a little bit. So again, What We Do in the Shadows, 21 Jump Streets, you're in and you're out. Great pacing. I think the pacing's a little sloppy. Having said that, I think it has some of the funniest scenes of the decade. It was before I was sick of Melissa McCarthy, mainly because her husband was not directing her in this movie, which helps when she's in a movie, because I think when she's with her husband, she makes some of the worst movies of all time. But this is when I wasn't sick of her yet. But yeah, great cast, really, really good scenes. S tier, but low S tier, just for me.
Isn't her husband the
He's in the plane scene. He's like the marshal.
He's I couldn't think what they call those people.
When they collaborate as husband, like director, actor, I'm sorry, it's a disaster every time.
It is. Oh yeah. I would agree with that. And probably for me, I would give Bridesmaids a high A. Like, it's one of the funniest movies that I've seen this decade. But I feel like I would only be giving it an S because everyone says I'm supposed to love this movie, and it's like I do love it, but like S level, I don't know. It's debatable. I won't be mad if it ends up in the S. I'd be totally fine with it. But yeah, but it has some of the funniest things, like the scene with Maya Rudolph, where she's like, it's happening. And she just sits down in the middle of the street because they're having a horrible diarrhea. It's just like so good. And like, I'm a massive fan of this entire cast. So, yeah, I'll say A tier. So, but Jordan, what do you think?
Jordan.
Yeah, this movie's fantastic. It's like you said, I understand the qualms of it being a little long, but when it's good, I'm definitely down for that ride. You know what I mean? I didn't feel it too hard. John Hamm's very funny in it as well, but the ladies absolutely kill it here. I'll take any kind of relationship between Maya Rudolph and Kristen Wiig. They're so good in it. Everyone else, this is of course the thing that's led Melissa McCarthy to superstardom. I will also agree. Please stop doing movies where your husband directs. Please. That sounds like such a horrible thing to say, but please. But yeah, this one I will put it in S. I think of this list, it's up there, so I'm gonna put it in S.
All right.
Peggy. So Peggy.
All right. Okay.
You've seen this movie, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Trust me. I'm just trying to formulate what letter grade I'm going to give it, because I mean, I enjoyed this movie. I mean, like much like I said about Seth Rogen, who thought Chris O'Dowd would be like, oh, you're kind of cute in this movie, you know? And then I think I'm trying to think this might have been my first real introduction to Rose Byrne. At least that I can think of, and I mean, did not like her character in this.
Yeah, probably like bigger character. Yeah, I mean, she's obviously in Neighbors and in
Neighbors was before that. Yeah.
She's in Star Wars too, but
it's a very hateable character in this movie.
There's just something about this movie, like it's somehow like, I mean, I feel like I'm betraying the sisterhood by saying this, but it kind of got like oversaturated when it came out. Like every single wedding, they had that, like they redid, like the bridesmaid redid that cover shot. and that just kind of annoyed me a little bit. Everyone goes apeshit for it. I mean, I thought it was good. I didn't think it was fantastic, but I think me selfishly, because I want Longshot to eventually get to S tier above Bridesmaid, I'm going to give it an A.
All right.
So,
despite Peggy's thoughts on there, it's exactly the same as 21 Jump Street 4 and 2, so it kind of goes right next to 21 up in the S tier. So, but we'll see what happens as far as the individual rankings at the end of the show. Things could shift around, slide around, so we'll see what happens. But we go from Paige to Amaru. What's your next nomination? I know she took your nomination. I know she took your nomination, but if you got another one in the chamber.
That's fine for me because I don't know how many times I'm going to be able to come back around. So I'm going to actually go with a surprise S tier. And the reason I put it on the S tier is because it's one of the movies I've only seen one time, but it stuck with me. And like anytime somebody brings it up, it's like, everything you just said it was amazing. I loved it. Lamorne Morris is one of my favorite dudes ever. Winston from New Girl. When somebody thought when his wife thought she saw Denzel Washington at the gas station in Game Night, fucking Game Night
so good.
is, I think, the sleeper S tier of the 2010s. It's like one of those ones where you may not go back and watch it, but then you remember, you're like, oh yes, please. I love this film. What the hell is his first initial? Anthony Hall, something Anthony Hall, or is that not Anthony Hall?
Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall, thank you.
Oh, no, Anthony. No, I'm sorry. Michael C. Hall is what you're
saying.
Michael C. Hall. Dexter. Oh, you said Dexter. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I knew his name wasn't C. Anthony Hall, Michael C.
Dexter or Brian Johnson from Breakfast Club. That's what
right. It's like not the weird science guy, the Dexter guy. Yeah, that's right.
When he popped up, I was very happy.
Give me the keys.
I'm gonna nominate Game Night for S tier.
All right. Well, Austin, what do you think?
This is one of the stronger ones on the list. I will agree with that, and I did really, really enjoy it. What's his name? Who plays Jesse Plemons? Is he the neighbor? He stole the movie for me when they're explaining buying the chips and stuff. He's just like, that doesn't seem very profitable for Frito-Lay. That whole exchange is one of the funniest things I've seen in a while. It's a really strong movie. I mean, the fact that it stands out among this as one of the more favorable ones on the list, I will say so. The only reason I can't put an S is I have not gone back to it. And again, I think I got almost everything I would get out of it the first time, so I just haven't gone back to it. But I would give it a strong A. I really, really enjoyed it. I do remember having an excellent experience with it. Again, Jesse Plemons, he's one of my favorite kind of character actors going around right now. I think he steals that movie. He's amazing. I did really enjoy it, though. I'll give it a strong A.
Yeah, so for me, Omar, you stole my next pick because I was going to pick Game Night. Game Night is an S tier all day for me. I was so surprised by Game Night. Just laughing from beginning to end. And also the scene where he gets blood all over the dog, and he's trying to fix it, and he can't figure out how to fix it. Just so crazy. And then Jesse Plemons, just all his weird obsession with his wife that passed away. He has all the whole shrine to her, and then kind of acts like maybe he's over her, but he's not really. And just the way that he wants to just be a part of these people's lives, but nobody likes him, and so it's just so good. But yeah, I would say. S tier for me, and I wouldn't even put it above Bridesmaids for me. So I'm a huge Game Night fan. So yeah, I say S tier. But Jordan, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a good one, man. I'm so glad we mentioned Jesse Plemons. That character really just he's so he's in there. I love him in that movie, and he again just from then on, your eyes always are attached to him in anything he's in. Vice, Breaking Bad, so many good things, and it's a good cast in general. You mentioned Lamorne Morris, Rachel McAdams too. Always fun seeing her. Having a little bit more fun. She's, sometimes goes a little more dramatic. So she's fun in this. Bateman knows how to kind of play that character. It's a lot of fun. It's even well directed too. When it has to be kind of an action movie for a minute, it's it's a well made movie in all aspects, really, to a very large degree as well. Yep. So I'm gonna give it an A.
All right.
Peggy, Peggy, what do you think?
I think I gotta go A as well. I enjoyed the movie. Don't get me wrong. Anytime you join Coach Eric Taylor and Lance Harbor, or not Lance Harbor, Landry Clark. Lance Harbor's Landry Clark back together again. I'm on board. And
Friday Night
but
Lights.
no, yeah, exactly. Clear Eyes for Lost, Can't Lose. Love that
Yep.
show. It just, here's my thing. While I absolutely 100% utterly adore both Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams, for some reason I did not buy the chemistry of them as a couple in this, and I don't understand why. Maybe I need to revisit it. Maybe I need to watch it again because I've only seen it the one time. But I don't know. I just didn't buy them as a viable couple for some reason. I'm not sure why. But it was still a great movie, and I still laughed my ass off. So that hesitation alone makes me just not put it in S tier.
And so A tier for you is where you go?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
All right, Paige, what do you think for game night?
Well, Lou, I got your back. I flipping love this movie. This is like another movie that I could just throw on whenever. I would definitely leave it in S tier. It's also like, I mean, I think like Rachel McAdams has done comedies before with like Hot Chicks and Hot Chicks.
Mean Girls.
And Mean Girls and stuff like that. But this movie, I thought she was like priceless in it. I think her like comedic beats were right on. I just think this movie is hilarious. I love the aspect of the whole thing of the show. Like I was talking about, I'm pretty sure tag blockers in this film all came out in 2018. And for me, Game Night was like the comedy of the year for that year. So for me, I'm going S for Game Night.
All right.
Well, we have literally 3 and 3, 3 S's, 3 A's, and I said earlier I think S tier needs at least 3 S votes. So right now it kind of goes at the bottom of S tier, so it kind of just skirts into there right now. So yeah, S tier makes it.
Fair enough
for right now.
All right. So I think with that, then Austin, I think you're up.
Yeah. I know I'm gonna get completely outvoted here. I'm gonna get shaking heads. It's not a horrible movie. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get outvoted for this franchise that is so simple yet makes me laugh, and it's made me laugh for 20 years. Jackass, and especially Jackass 3D.
Jackass 3D.
I will show it some love. I will begin with S. I know I'm gonna get 1,000% outvoted on this panel, but I think the Jackass movies in particular have gotten progressively better with each installment. Jackass the movie was okay. Jackass number 2 was better. Jackass 3D took even the 3D concept and threw all kinds of great shit there. They're shooting dildos through the air. They're attaching a helicopter to Chris Pontius's dick with a helicopter, excuse me. They're doing pool volcanoes. They're doing the hand that's swinging around and smacking people in the face as a prank. This movie and this franchise just makes me laugh myself stupid, and I've gone back to it a lot. And again, the ones I put in S tier are just the ones I've gone back to over and over and over again. This franchise never fails to make me laugh. This is my favorite of the movies. I have to show it some love. I know I'm going to get completely outvoted, but I don't care. I've got to show some love to Jackass and Jackass 3D.
Well, hey, we all have those kind of personal picks on the list, but you know what? This one's kind of a personal pick for me too. Like I actually love Jackass 3D. Like I'm a big fan, and the only reason why I wouldn't quite put it to A, because for me, I'm just more of a Johnny Knoxville fan, and actually like another Johnny Knoxville movie on the list even better. That's like more of an even personal pick for me. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad if it ended up in the S tier. Like I'd give it a very high A. Like I would rate, I would rank it higher than any movie on the A tier. So I mean, I'll probably, you know what? I'll just say yes, because it'll probably be the lowest on the list for me. But like those movies are just so much fun. It's just them just screwing around, having a good time, and like it's all the same thing I did with my friends growing up. I mean, I didn't go as extreme as they did, but like we did some pretty crazy shit when I was growing up, and so yeah, we have our own little Jackass videos that we definitely made. So yeah, we definitely made some napalm, and we lit some things on fire, and we broke giant halogen light bulbs on our heads and did crazy stuff like that. So
don't try this at home, kids.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I'll say S tier. But Jordan, what do you think?
All right.
I'll be a little bit of the outlier at the moment here. I love. They're all fun and fine. I just always have a hard time really remembering, a day later, as far as like really distinguishing them and what gags was in what, and it really holding much weight for me. But they are fun. You know what I mean? They're friends. It is kind of infectious for the time being. But I'm gonna say B personally. but I get it. I have lots of friends that absolutely love the franchise, but it's passable for me to a degree.
You're breaking my heart, Malcolm. Oh, hang on.
That's fine.
That's not the one. Yeah, there you go. He says F. I'm like, you're breaking my heart.
Yeah, well, F you, Malcolm. I don't care. I love Jackass.
Well, much like everyone, I think was it late 90s, early 2000s, I watched Jackass on MTV. I was a big fan of Bam and the relationship with him and Ryan Dunn. Rest in peace, Ryan Dunn. And it's unfortunate to see where Bam's life has taken a turn towards. I don't think I've seen Jackass 3D, so I'm going to take this opportunity to promote a comedian that I am a fan of. If you guys can watch Brad Williams' comedy bit about Wee Man, just do me that favor. Search Brad Williams Wee Man on YouTube. Watch that, and then. But yeah, I fall in the category.
Brad Williams.
I have not seen it.
Brad Williams, A.
Yeah, right.
It's about a charity golf event where it was a mistaken identity. It's a good story.
Yes.
Well, Paige, what do you think?
Honestly, all of these movies, like the Jackass films, like I've definitely seen it, but I just can't like tell them apart from like the second or the third one or the 3.5 one. For me, I mean, I remember watching these on MTV and I like the show aspect of it. I was personally, I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of this. You guys know what CKY is? That they were the ones that pretty much they took the premise of Jackass. No, Jackass took the premise from CKY, which was Bam Margera and his friends and stuff were doing all of this stuff. And it's also a band. I don't know if you guys know that, but
Bam's brother, Jess.
Yeah, he's the drummer. So for me, I was more of like a CKY fan because I mean, they were doing like crazy stupid shit with their friends, but they weren't doing like dumbass shit like let's put a helicopter on your dick and then like just
chuck a beer through your butthole.
I don't exactly like for me, I don't know. I'm gonna put this at a C because I think it's just like stupid fun. I'm not really the big like when I was younger. I liked watching Jackass or like I like the Wild Boys. That's a show I liked.
There you go.
Maybe because I hate reptiles, so I'd be freaking the F out too, doing all that stuff. But for me, I don't know. I put it at a C.
I feel like everybody's talking about everything except the movie I nominated. I feel kind of slighted here. Everybody's like, yeah, Jackass 3D. So I really like the Wild Boys, and I like Brad Williams. And, I'm like, we're talking about Jackass 3D here. We're talking about the movie I nominated, not all this other shit. I really like Bridesmaids, but I saw this movie in the theater a while back called Cloverfield, and it was really, really good. Like, what the fuck? I'm just saying. Amaru, maybe you can save this one for me.
Yeah, right. I'm going to continue the trend. Jackass 2 is one of my favorite movie-going experiences just because of where I was in my life and what was going on. But I haven't seen Jackass 3D. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Well, we got just watching some of the like stupidest stuff that's like also awesome because it's so stupid that like if you're in that type of mood, then you can do that. Yeah. Or if you're ever drunk, it might be one to watch while you're drunk. So yeah. But what do we lie, Austin?
Well, this one's tough to rank because we have two S's, a B, and a C. And the C kind of drags it down. So it's got more S votes than Dolomite, but it's also got one lesser vote than a vote for Dolomite lesser than that. It kind of goes right next to Dolomite, but I can't really tell where it goes, if it goes in front or behind. We'll kind of see where that goes, but yeah. But the C kind of drags it down
for now.
I think you're good right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so was it my turn?
Yeah.
I believe I'm up. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Oh, okay. So the one I want to go for, I want to vote for MacGruber's. So I'm a massive MacGruber fan. Like I'm also a huge SNL fan. Me and Austin have an SNL show that we just review classic episodes of Saturday Night Live, and every time that Will Forte pops up as MacGruber, like it's just so good. Like the scene where we're just assembling his entire team, and then they all like explode in a van. Then it's like all the like A-tier people, and they're just gone. It's just like so good. And like, there's just so many just little nuances. If you really pay close attention to it, it's just so funny. I don't know if I would quite go S though, but I would say definitely A. Like, I would put it probably like a mid A, maybe just below this at the end. But I mean, but yeah, we'll see what you guys think. Jordan, what do you think?
I like MacGruber. I feel like it's something that I've actually grown to kind of like and appreciate more over time than my first initial viewing. Like you said, I love that the entire team, all the WWE wrestlers get exploded. He's building this badass team, except for the Big Show who lives. He gets to make it to the end.
Yeah,
right. Not everything quite works for me. Some gags like are very funny, and then something about Will Forte. Sometimes he loses me a little bit. But so I'm gonna say more of a B for me personally, but it's another really fun one.
Yeah. Peggy, what do you think?
I have not seen MacGruber, but I maintain that Saul looks like Will Forte.
Yeah, he does a little. True. But
go ahead, Paige.
Paige, yeah.
For me, honestly, when I first saw this movie, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. But I mean, after like rewatching it, like I've probably seen it like 3 times total. I'd give it a B. I mean, I think it has one of the best villain names ever with Falcon. What is his name? Dieter
Von Kuntz.
Yes, Dieter Von Kuntz. I think is one of the funniest villain names ever.
Yep.
So for me, I mean, it's a funny movie. It definitely grows on you. I feel like. Mm-hmm. I mean, for me, like the first time I watched it, it wasn't really for me. But like after like the second and third viewing, I was like, it's not that bad. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a B.
All right. Well, Mario, what do you think from MacGruber?
Never seen it.
Okay. Well, then we'll throw it over to Austin.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the stronger SNL movies. That's 100% for sure. Because there's been a lot of really bad SNL movies. This is one of the better ones. And yeah, it is one that kind of grows on you because I liked it a lot the first time I saw it, and then I actually liked it even more when I bought the Blu-ray and checked it out. I think the scene where Will Forte is having sex with his ghost ex-wife in the cemetery is one of the funniest scenes ever of the decade. So yeah, it's really, really good stuff. I can't rank it higher than Jackass because I like Jackass more than that. So I'll give it a strong A. But I really do like it. I think it's one of the stronger movies on the list. I'll say that for sure. So I'll give it like an A+. All
right.
But with that, we got 4 votes. We got 2 A's and 2 B's. So with the lack of votes, it kind of goes near maybe the bottom of A kind of for right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can throw it down
right
there.
near the end down there. All right.
Yeah. And then with that, we're back over to Jordan. So
Jordan,
you're up. What do you got?
All right. So what I want to talk about here, it's kind of the end of a trilogy in a way. I'm gonna go with The World's End. Edgar Wright's film, of course, with all the usual Edgar Wright guys. Simon Pegg. Yeah, I think you had it just now. Oh, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just think it might be my least favorite of the 3, but I still think it's a really strong film. It is kind of it's a very good closer to kind of the Cornetto trilogy here. Another really interesting concept. I think Pegg has so much range, and I think he's great in this from being lovable, but being very a character that's kind of salted in his own ways. And another great cast there, Martin Freeman. I just a really, really interesting movie. A little long, but again, held me the entire time. So I'm going to say an A for World's End.
All right. Well, Peggy, what do you think?
I honestly would rather see the movie Paul on here if we're talking about I know it's not part of the Cornetto trilogy, but it's still got Simon Pegg.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess I'd give it a B.
Yeah.
I really got nothing. I'd rather see Paul up there.
Yeah. Well, Paige, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like when it comes to like the Edgar Wright trilogy of you have Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and then
World's End.
Yeah, The World's End. I'd give this a B. It's like my least favorite out of the 3. It's still a great flick, but for me, I'm gonna go with the B.
All right. Well, Mara, what do you think for World's End?
I'm on the same train. It is the lesser of the 3 of the Cornetto trilogy, but I'd give it an A. I'd give it a strong A. Long Shot would probably go ahead of it based off what I heard, but I'd have The World's End above everything else in the A tier.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I go like a strong A for World's End. Hot Fuzz is my favorite out of the trilogy. It's just the one I've gone back to the most. But I really enjoy Shaun of the Dead as well. And World's End actually is one of those ones that's creeping up and getting better and better every time I go back and watch it. I think it's got a really good storyline. I really like the chemistry between all the guys going from the pub to pub. I really enjoy it. I think the only thing that hurts it, I think it drags a little bit, kind of towards the last 15 minutes, trying to get over the finish line. Like you really start to feel that golden mile with the characters. Maybe that's intentional. I don't know. But I think you kind of feel it and you're kind of ready for it to be over when it gets over. So that's the only thing that doesn't bump it up into like an S for me. But I give it a strong A. I really like it.
Yeah, and for me, like I'd probably give it an A too, maybe like a lower A. But I'm a huge fan of the Cornetto trilogy. I'm the same way. Hot Fuzz is my favorite of the trilogy, and I'm also a huge Edgar Wright fan. I mean, pretty much almost anything he does, I'm down for. And the world, and it's fun, and you definitely do kind of feel it, the length of it a little bit, kind of near the end. But I do like seeing some people like Rosamund Pike. She pops up in that movie, so that's kind of fun to see her in there. But yeah, I would give it a solid A, probably lower end A. So that's kind of where I fall on that.
Well, I got 4 A's and 2 B's. It kind of goes maybe right around Dolomite, somewhere right in kind of a mid A, right around there. A lot of strong A's. So somewhere right around there, maybe below Longshot, because Longshot had an S vote, so that stays ahead of it. Same with the other two. So somewhere around there.
You could do that. But yeah, so
all right, back to PG.
All right, you're up. PG.
I'm debating between 2 movies right now. Oddly enough, both Judd Apatow. You know what? I'm going to go with this one just because I think this one needs a little bit more love out there in the universe, if you will. I don't know how the vote's going to go because this is a spiritual sequel, and I think I liked it better than the first. I liked it better than Knocked Up. I'm going with This Is 40.
All right. And I know I saw if anyone sees it.
Yeah, you just had your cursor over
you just had it right next to
right after Bad Words, Central Intelligence.
Down.
Under Jay and Bob.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you got to see a little bit of Leslie Mann and Paul Rudd together in Knocked Up, but this one just follows that family in particular, and someone who is in the 40s. I mean, I kind of identify as opposed to the fact that I'm not married and I don't have kids, but I still kind of identify with the growing old part and just like the different difficulties. I have friends who go through this same kind of shit. You get stellar performances by Albert Brooks as Paul Rudd's father, and you get John Lithgow as Leslie Mann's father. You get Chris O'Dowd again in this one. You get Jason Segel, Megan Fox is in this one, and it's hilarious. And for some reason, not a whole lot of people have seen it that I've come to realize. And I think it's better than Knocked Up, and Knocked Up got so much love, and I think This Is 40 should get as much love, and it just doesn't. So I'm gonna rank it A, and we'll see where the chips fall.
Right.
Okay.
Well, Paige, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this movie. I love the chemistry between Paul Rudd and Leslie Mann. What was I just gonna say though about this movie? And I love Judd Apatow. I think he is one of like the best like comedic directors like working today. Like a lot of the stuff he produces too. I'm pretty sure he produced like Bridesmaids as well. I could be entirely wrong saying that, but I think he did.
Yeah.
But no, I really like his work a lot. For me, I did like Knocked Up more. Maybe because I just love Seth Rogen. But for me, I really enjoyed this movie. I would give it a B though, just because I feel like there's a lot of movies right now in this A tier. So I'm gonna give it a B though. I really do like this movie though.
He was the producer.
All right.
You are correct.
Okay. Right on. Well, Amaru, what do you think?
Paul Rudd is a national treasure. Period. Point blank.
Yep.
This is 40. This is 40 dragged for me.
Okay.
It dragged when I watched it. I enjoyed it, but I was like, man, this is a long movie, and I'm feeling.
And for the record, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is long for a comedy. Woo, that's long for a comedy.
I also would put it at a B.
All right. Well, Austin, what do you think?
I'm going to somewhat echo what Amaru said, only harsher. I'm going to go D. I hated This Is 40.
Wow. Okay.
I
Wow.
absolutely despise This Is 40. The slogging part is 100% accurate. That movie, I thought in the theater was never going to end. I was like, oh my God, this is still going. It's one of the things I talked about earlier with Judd Apatow. I'm sorry. Comedies cannot be 2 hours and 15 minutes long. It's too long. It's for a comedy. Too long. I hate Leslie Mann's character in both of those movies. I think she's a nagging bitch in both of those movies. I despise her character. The fact that Paul Rudd takes a Viagra to give her great sex and she complains about it, fuck that character. I hated her character.
God.
I'm sorry. I hate her character, and the fact that they made a whole movie about it kills it for me. So
He made Peggy walk away
Rudd
from the screen.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd is charming.
Love.
Paul Rudd is charming. He's the only thing that saves it from being an F for me personally. It's the only thing that keeps it at F tier.
Okay.
D.
Well, I don't think I would go quite that low, but probably I would put it like around the range of blockers for me, probably like a C, just because like it does kind of drag. There's only really a few scenes that are actually memorable for me. Like one is the one where like Melissa McCarthy, I think she gets groped or something, and she says she has a really high nipple or something. There's all that exchange back and forth, so like that made me laugh. And then for whatever reason, I just remember Jason Segel and Paul Rudd just kind of hitting on Megan Fox. So yeah, I don't remember a whole lot more of This is 40, but I mean those scenes kind of were entertaining at best. So I mean I'd give it a C. I'd probably put it even just below blockers for me. So, but Jordan, what do you think?
Yeah, this is one I haven't seen in a tick. I think from beginning to end, I've only seen it the once because I do agree this is a comedy that you do feel the length in. You do feel it as much as, you're invested in the length outweighs it. And I remember even kind of being like, at one point being like, all right, figure shit out or don't. Let's get to it now. Just like, I got it, guys. Let's, this could have been figured out a little bit quicker. With a little bit more laughs. But yeah, I thought there's enough in it. PG mentioned Apatow always gets such a good cast together. Great seeing Brooks whenever he pops up. Segel's funny in it. So there is enough to definitely compared to Austin, I loved it. But I'm going to say it's a B.
I'll take it.
All right. Where do we land, Austin?
A, 3 B's, a C, and a D. So it kind of goes, if there was a bottom of C, it would go into bottom of C, but it kind of just goes into, it's above blockers because blockers had 2 Ds and a C. Okay. So it goes above blocker, either low B or high C, somewhere around there. Sorry, Peggy, unfortunately.
That's all good.
Yeah.
I just want to give it a little love. If other people don't like it.
Hey, give the movies. If you love it, I'm happy that you love it. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I did not enjoy it. I hate that. I hated her character.
I'm okay.
And the fact they made a thing about her character, I couldn't stand it. I'm sorry.
Can't hurt my feelings. Don't worry about that.
All right. I thought she walked out because I gave it a D.
She needed to go get another beer. I thought it was more comedic timing that way.
Oh, gotcha.
There we go.
I had my beers during the podcast today, so yeah, I can't drink any more beers. Drinking Ice House for the podcast.
Yep.
Damn.
Well,
boy.
Enjoy that hangover.
Yeah, right.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. But we go to Paige, I believe.
Yeah.
Guys, we need more movies in this S tier. So
yeah.
See, it's tougher when you got movies that are recent. It's a little tougher. To get those movies up in that S tier.
Yeah, no, I completely
have to be
agree.
home runs.
I mean, for me though, I think this is definitely an S tier. I think it's another buddy cop film, and that is 2016. I think it's 2016. Shane Black's The Nice Guys. I think that movie is priceless. Ryan Gosling. I will marry that man. He's my future husband besides Timothy Chalamet.
Bottom row, Jordan. Bottom row.
Spectrum right there.
There you go.
Timothy Chalamet and Ryan Gosling.
Yes. I will have their babies. No, he is so damn funny in this movie. And like the buddy cop vibe you have with him being like the funny, like ridiculous guy kind of. And then you have Russell Crowe as like the serious badass. Like this movie is just epic. It's amazing. I love the story that it follows. Like I would love another movie with these two guys in it. Like give me a Nice Guys too. Like that's what I want.
Yes.
So yeah, for me, guys,
Start a
I'm going
GoFundMe for Ethan.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, shout out to my man Ethan who produced this film. Hopefully one day he'll give me a big cool job that I can.
Yeah, Shane, quit trying to make Predator movies. Just make Nice Guys 2 and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang 2, and we'll all be happy.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to hear Ethan's story about when he met Ryan Gosling, because he told me he has a funny story that he can only tell me in person. So,
Okay.
But yeah, this movie is just so damn good, and I love Ryan Gosling with all my heart. And I mean, Russell Crowe is just a brilliant actor, and so isn't Ryan Gosling. So yeah, you can't go wrong with that. So take it away, Rue.
Amaru, what do you got?
Yeah. Don't tell Ethan I haven't seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang or Nice Guys.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
We got some movies to watch. but
I'm gonna tell Sam and Tracy because he hasn't seen it.
We'll throw it to Austin then. What do you think?
Paige, if no one was going to nominate, I was going to nominate it next. So you stole my pick. Yeah, I'm all about the Nice Guys. S tier, absolutely. It's got enough. Again, it's enough funny stuff mixed with enough really good, almost like film noir kind of mystery cop stuff, in there that's actually really, really good. It's really well made. I like the characterizations. Russell Crowe is awesome. Again, Gosling just kind of being silly, just having a lot of fun. You can tell he's just having a blast. A really smart script. And yeah, just I remember laughing myself silly at things that nobody else in the theater was laughing at, like when Gosling comes back and he's just like, I had to go interview the mermaids. Like I've almost fell out of my chair. Like I don't know why that made me laugh so much. I had to go interview the mermaids. I was just like, it's so absurd and silly and stupid.
I thought it was funny when
I love stuff like that.
Punched his hand through the glass and his wrist starts gushing blood.
That's a lot of blood.
He's just like, that's a lot of blood.
Yeah, but this movie again is aging like fine wine. So yeah, I will give it an S tier. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I don't know how we overlooked the Nice Guys for so long. Like that's definitely an S tier for me. And a shout out to the actress that played Ryan Gosling's daughter in it. I forget her name, but like she's great in it. And then the scene where they're looking for the porn star's house or whatever, and then they run into like some random kid on the street, and I forget what he said. Just something about having a big dick or something crazy like that. But it makes me laugh. Yeah, it was so good though. But yeah, like I would say that the Nice Guys almost goes like near the top of the S tier for me. Probably like in between what we do in the Shadows and 21 Jump Street. Like I have a lot of love for this movie, and also too, I want to just throw a little shout out to our other co-host Chris Scott, who couldn't be here tonight. He had to work, so he wanted to throw his support for the Nice Guys in there. So yeah, but we'll throw it over to Jordan. What do you think of the Nice Guys?
Man, yes, 1,000 times yes. This also would have been the next movie I was going to shout out. I saw it out on the bottom there. I've mentioned this multiple times on my podcast. Yes, please, sequel, miniseries, something. I would love to see more of these characters. 100%, man. It's a great R-rated buddy comedy. You know what I mean? It's got the violence there. It doesn't really hold back. It's so good. Gosling's practical, trying to get out of that bathroom stall. I mean, I could watch that on a loop. Yeah, this is great. It's an S. It's an S all the way. I like where it's ranked. Yeah, that's fine by me, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
come down to Peggy. Peggy, what do you got?
I mean,
what do you think?
Straight. Okay, don't write down anything just yet, Austin. Like straight up and down, I'd probably rank this at an A. But because this movie needs more attention, this movie needs to be seen by so many more people, I'm gonna give it an S. My favorite part is when Russell Crowe breaks Ryan Gosling's arm. The scream that Ryan lets out.
Yes. So good.
I mean, I always knew that Gosling had the comedic chops, but you think of him as like a rom-com or a romance like leading man, whatever. But his comedic timing in this movie is impeccable, and I did not expect it from him. I went in watching this movie not really expecting much, and I was pleasantly surprised by how much I love this movie. So I am fine with it being an S tier.
Well,
Thank
it's
you.
got literally exactly the same as what we do in the shadows. 5 S's and 1 no vote. So, but it goes right next to what we do in the shadows, right there at the top, even above 21. So as of right now, yeah, it's right where it needs to be, right up there near the top. Excellent.
Yeah, I just want to say this is a movie that I saw 3 times in theaters, but granted, I did work at a movie theater at the time, so free movies.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah,
I went and saw it twice
It was
in
a
the
lot of
theater.
fun.
I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, and I know that movie underperformed, but yeah, it's a shame that it did because that's probably the reason we haven't gotten a
Damn
sequel
shame.
or a TV or whatever.
Yep.
But yeah,
Damn
absolutely.
shame.
Same reason for Dread. Goddamn Dread.
yeah, right.
So bombed in the
Honestly,
theaters.
I think Nice
Same
Guys
reason
will
another
become a
sequel.
classic one day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree, but we'll throw it over to Amaru. What do you got?
I'm gonna give some love to a movie that I'd never heard of before last year, and then when I saw it, I was just in love. I absolutely love Alan Tudyk and anything he does, and Tucker and Dale versus Evil
Yeah.
is a super of a hilarious ass movie. Tyler Labine,
So good.
you just want to give him a hug.
Bean.
You just want to give him a hug, man.
So good.
I'm gonna give Tucker and Dale versus Evil the highest of A's.
All right. We'll throw it there. Austin, what do you think?
Well, Amaru, I'm going to do one better. I'm going to put it in S, and I'll tell you why. Because on our 2010s horror show that we just did on tier rankers, Jordan and I gave this movie a shitload of love. It didn't make the S tier. I was very, very mad. We both voted for S. We love this movie. And so you can go back and see our overwhelming love for that movie on that show. But because it's on here, I will give it love here and maybe get it up. I think it's not quite as good as what we do in the shadows, but I think it's not far behind because I think it's aged very well. The gags in this movie are fan-freaking-tastic. The writing is brilliant. How they get everybody into these scenarios and all these misunderstandings. It's one of the best misunderstanding movies of all time. Yes. It's fantastic. Just all the crazy situations they get into. So because I gave it an S on that show, I will give it an S on this show. S for Tucker and Dale. I give it some love. So even higher than you, Amaru. I love that movie.
Yeah, and for me, I think I'd give it an S tier also. Like, I just watched it recently, and like I absolutely love this movie. We watched it for our 2010 horror movie, like Austin, or horror show, like Austin said, and like I was super impressed. Like, and I've always been a huge Alan Tudyk fan. I got to meet him at a Comic-Con, and like he was one of the nicest guys in the world. So I always remember that. And then also Tyler Labine, he's a very underrated comedic actor. Just he's on a little show. It's like to give some love to. That's called Reaper, where there's a guy who has to become a bounty hunter for the devil, but he plays the best friend in that. So he's hilarious in that, and like so many mishaps, just like Adam, or where Alan Tudyk's swinging at the bees and stuff, just hitting things with the chainsaw, or like people just like randomly falling into a wood chipper, just random things like that. It's like so good.
People impaling themselves with their own sticks, like jumping into pits and impaling themselves. Like it's so ridiculous. It's so great. People shooting themselves with a gun accidentally. Like it's nuts. Like if you haven't seen this movie, please, if you're watching, watch Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It's great.
And Tyler Labine's interaction with the girl too, like he's just so just like a huge redneck like guy.
He's
like
a big
it's
teddy
so
bear.
good. Right, yep, right. But Jordan, what do you think?
Yeah, well, what a concept! It's brilliant and it's brilliantly pulled off too. Like, you know, it's so well written and you guys already threw the love out to Tudyk and Labine. I was actually gonna mention Reaper myself. Nice little small TV recommendation, 2 seasons only.
Yep.
You know, he's awesome in it. I've always enjoyed him anytime he pops up. I was wishing this would bring him to superstardom because he's so good in this, but you know, he still can continue to kind of just be here and there and stuff. But yeah, I mean, people still talk about a sequel. There's a reason why, because I don't know. I think we're all worried it can't ever touch the first one. But yeah, it's such a great concept and executed so well. I would say, I'm gonna say an A is pretty accurate for me.
All right, well, Peggy, would
now. Let me finish this before you jump up down my throat. Okay, people who know me well know that horror is never my first genre of choice, and I used to think that this movie was a straight up horror because I really didn't have any sort of concept about it. But due to the fan leagues, This was one of the movies I had to study, and I was pleasantly surprised to find out that I enjoyed this one. Because it has those comic elements, and like they basically like kind of like it's like Forrest Gump with a lot of death. Like they kind of just like shit just like happens and like beyond their control, and you're just like, how did that happen? And yeah, it just, I don't know how to better explain it than you guys already have. It just having no concept of the movie other than thinking that it was straight up horror before I actually saw it. I was very, very, very pleasantly surprised how much I enjoyed this movie. I'll give it an A.
All right.
All right. Well, Paige, what do you think?
I'll keep this short and sweet. I remember when I watched this movie the first time, my friend was like, let's watch this. And I was like, I have no interest at all in seeing this. And when I watched it, I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I really do like the scenarios they get themselves into, because it's the way they portray it and the way it comes off. I love it. So yeah, I mean, I would give it an A.
All right. Well,
all right. According to my charts here, if I do a little math, I got 2 S's, 4 A's, which is similar to This Is the End. This is similar.
Make it 3 S's. Go on ahead. Just go.
Right. Yeah, you're going to change your vote last minute. No, he's going to change his vote. Well, if he changes his vote last minute, it puts it right alongside Game Night in the S tier with 3 and 3. So it makes it.
I'm okay with it.
All right, Amaru with the last minute switch, bumping it up. All right. How about that?
All right. Well, Austin, I think you're up. If I'm not mistaken.
I think I really only have maybe 1 or 2 S tiers I would fight for.
Right.
Again, I'm surprised it's one that hasn't come up yet. I'm going to talk about Horrible Bosses.
Yes.
Okay.
It's over on the right column, the far right column.
Yeah.
So early in the decade, I forget that it's actually 2010.
Yeah, it's literally 2010. It just squeaks in at 2010. Again, this is another one that if I go with sheer many times I've gone back to it. I've gone back to it many, many times. It's hard. I would probably put it in S, but it'd be like a low S. I don't think I'd put it above Tucker and Dale or 21 and things like that. But I would argue for a low S. Mainly because of the chemistry. I think the chemistry between Bateman and Charlie Day and Sudeikis and all those guys is impeccable. It's fantastic. Like their whole chemistry is amazing. Say what you will about Kevin Spacey, he's damn funny in that movie as the asshole boss. Colin Farrell is fantastic as the cokehead other boss who is just coke out of his brain. I think there's so many people that show up. Jamie Foxx is great as Motherfucker Jones.
I forgot about that. Yes.
His name is Motherfucker Jones. That's his name.
Yeah,
as he says it. But yeah,
I asked that to be my showdown name, but they said no.
That'd be amazing.
And how can we forget?
Schroeder sing first.
We can't forget Jennifer Aniston's amazing turn as the horned up, stalkerish dentist who's so great, and she's never been hotter in that movie. Honestly, that may be just the guy coming out of me, but she's smoking hot in that movie. So,
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you.
It was great.
Charlie Day's nuts. What is he doing?
He's
Even
great.
though that's not good. It should always be consensual, but I mean, it's
right.
Yeah,
but here's the thing, though, Paige. You don't stick your dick in crazy. You just don't do it.
I guess so.
He's a smart man. So, but I'll go low S for Horrible Bosses to kind of see where everybody falls on it. So we'll go with that. All right.
So I'm a massive Horrible Bosses fan. Like this is an S tier all the way for me. And I didn't think that really anyone would really want to show it very much love, but like I love Horrible Bosses. Just the chemistry between Bateman, Charlie Day, and Jason Sudeikis is just so good. And for whatever reason, like Charlie Day, he just stands out to me. Just like the way that he freaks out about everything, he's just going crazy, going nuts. Like it just makes me
yeah. That's my Charlie Day. That's my Charlie Day impression. It's a 3-second impression.
But I'm also a huge It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia fan, so like that definitely helps. So yeah, but yeah, Horrible Bosses, I'm even a fan of the sequel. I know we're not really talking about the sequel. I mean, it's not as good as this one, but I enjoyed it. But but for Horrible Bosses, I would actually give it an S tier. Like I love Horrible Bosses, so yeah. But Jordan, what do you think?
I might be a little bit lower than you guys. It is a good one. I don't know if it holds up as much in repeated viewings for me as you guys, but as you said, the laughs per a minute or whatever you want to say, it's pretty consistently throwing a lot of stuff at you. That's pretty funny. Great cast, as we all said. Nomination to Motherfucker Jones is somebody I'd like to see more of. Just throw him in other movies, as a side character. Why not? So I'd more personally go lower A for me personally.
Okay.
All right. Well,
okay, so I'm gonna say A, but for one reason and one reason only. There was another movie in 2010 that has both Charlie Day and Jason Sudeikis in it, and that's called Going the Distance. And I happen to like that movie more than I like Horrible Bosses. So I can't give it an S tier because there's another movie in the same year with two of the same actors that I like better. So I'm gonna give it an A.
All right. Well, Paige, what do you think? Horrible Bosses.
I haven't seen this movie in so long. I definitely did enjoy it, and I like who does? I hope my boss isn't watching. She definitely isn't, though. Who doesn't have a boss that they just don't like at all, or or don't get along with, or
I've definitely been there.
Things differently,
or at least in some point in their life. Maybe not currently, but at some point.
Exactly.
At some point, yeah.
But yeah. I mean, for me, honestly, I completely forgot about motherfucking Jones, and because of that, I'm giving it an S. So,
yeah,
it's just a solo, like a backstory movie on that character. I'd be okay.
Yes.
So you vote S, Paige? Okay.
I do. Yeah. Is the cocaine scene in the first one?
Yeah.
Okay,
Where they actually spill the
definitely.
cocaine, and Charlie Day's just like, I just feel like doing push-ups right now. Push up.
I just love Charlie Day too so much. I just love his hyperness. He's just a small, cute little man.
Yep.
So,
Amaru, may come down to you. Amaru, what do you got? Horrible Bosses.
It took forever for me to watch this film. I watched it. I enjoyed it. I never saw it again. I'm giving it a B.
All right. That's fair enough.
Okay. Well, it still has more A votes than the stuff in the A tier right now, so it just squeaks into the S tier despite that, because it has 3 S votes, 2 A's, and a B. So it still kind of squeaks in because Pop Star, This Is the End, all those kind only have 2 S votes apiece. So, it just kind of squeaks in up there, for right now.
Well, sounds good.
In the lowest of the low, lower than Tucker and Dale, but it's in there. All right.
Well, I guess I need to go see Going the Distance because I don't know anything about that movie, so I'll have to add it to my list.
Check it out.
Yeah, but so I guess it's my turn, right?
Yep, it's your turn, Jordan.
All right, let me see. So I think I got to throw one of these on the list just because like how hard I actually laughed for the sheer amount of laughs I got out of it. But I got to go with Good Boys. That movie made me laugh so hard, from beginning to end. Just these kids that just discovering like all this crazy stuff that's way too mature for them, but they're discovering it over and over and over again, and they're like finding dildos and finding weird, just all kinds of crazy stuff, and kind of forced to act like adults sort of, and normally I don't always go for that. On that type of humor, but for whatever reason, it actually really worked for me. And I forget the name of the black kid, but the way that he just scream all the time, he was hands down my favorite in that. Like he was so funny. So I would love to see more of him in more movies for sure. But yeah, I would probably give it. This one's tough because it kind of hovers between S and on the top of A tier. I'd probably put it just at the very top of the A tier, just right at the top for me. But Jordan, what do you think?
His name is Keith Williams, by the way. I'm kind of looking up stuff on my phone.
It is,
the kid. Yeah, he was definitely a standout. He was
Keith Williams. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely second that. Yeah, big love to him. And I mean, all 3 kids are pretty funny. Keith's very funny. Shout out to Jacob Tremblay, who had mostly done way different kind of movies, obviously, than this. It's interesting to see him
not exactly Wonder
in this dynamic.
Room, is it?
Yeah, it's interesting seeing him in this kind of dynamic as well.
Movies.
And I remember another one that I thought definitely good amount of laughs throughout it. Quite enjoyable. Kind of smile on your face kind of movie. I'd say lower A, but I'd put it up there, man. I quite enjoyed it. Something I've been meaning to kind of revisit. It's been a minute.
Where would you put it?
Yeah.
I'd say A. I'd keep it A, but lower A.
Okay.
All right. Well, Peggy, what do you think?
C. I was underwhelmed. I
okay.
wanted it to be good. Maybe it's because I was never a prepubescent boy, and I just don't identify with the movie as well as many of you guys.
Fair
might.
point, Peggy Gubbins.
Wow.
I mean, Seth Rogen was promoting the shit out of it, and I was excited to see it. I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be good, and then I was underwhelmed. So yeah, C.
Yeah. Well, Paige, what do you think for Good Boy?
Honestly, Peggy did not take the words out of my mouth because I wasn't that clever to say what she just said. But yeah, I completely agree. I'm gonna go C too. Maybe like Peggy said, maybe just because I wasn't a young little boy at one point in my life, at least not that I know of. So for me, yeah, I thought this movie was gonna be so good.
It's not this time one.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe in my past life, I don't know. But yeah, this movie for me was definitely underwhelming. There's another movie though on my list with Molly Gordon, right? That's her last name, I'm pretty sure. That I'm definitely going to be throwing on there. She plays the older sister.
Okay.
I have a feeling I know what movie you're talking about. We'll see what happens when we get around to you. Yeah.
But I love her. I think she is awesome, and even though she's not the main character in either of these two movies that I'm talking about, yeah, no, for me, this is C, underwhelming. Yeah.
All right.
The boys are hilarious, though. But yeah.
Okay, I know where you go.
Well, Amaru, what do you think for Good Boys?
I also wasn't a prepubescent wait. No, sorry about that.
Yes.
I never got around to this film. I wanted to, and I haven't. So I haven't seen it.
Okay.
You're not missing much.
Well,
Can we Peggy and I's eyes?
Sadly true.
Well, I was
you were
a
a prepubescent
prepubescent
boy
boy. Yeah, I was a prepubescent boy. And because of that, I thought this movie was perfectly fine. I would put it at a B. I thought it was perfectly fine. I think the marketing of the movie and kind of what they based the movie on was really a lot of like just kind of gimmick to me personally. It was just like, again, the marketing was, let's see how crazy we can get these 10-year-old kids into dirty situations, talking dirty, handling sex toys, things like that. And it kind of was the gimmick of the movie when you went to see it. Like, I thought it was going to be a little bit more than that, but it kind of just was that. And again, I enjoyed myself. I liked a lot of the jokes. It made me laugh. I haven't gone back to it. It was perfectly fine. I would put it like right in the B tier. I thought it was pretty good, but not an all-timer.
Well,
but with that, 2 A's, a B, and 2 C's is literally a B, right there in the average, right in the middle. So it's our first official B tier of the show. We haven't had anything there yet. Right in the
there you go.
In the B, right? Yep.
Right there in the B for boys. B for good boys.
There we go. So
all right.
All
right. So we're at an hour and 47 minutes. So I believe Jordan would agree. We're going to do one more regular round, just going up the ladder, and then we'll throw out our Hail Marys, right, kind of after this round. And if anybody wants to shoot their shot for anything else, but you can still go for whatever you want.
So we'll do one. So everyone gets to go say whatever they want, and then after we get to give one more.
We'll start speed rounding. We'll kind of start speed rounding after this round. So this round is still going to be kind of normal, and then we'll start throwing out some speed picks and see if you can get a consensus. But we're right back at the beginning, so we're going to go let everybody get one more regular pick. And so maybe shoot your shot for S tier if you still got another one still lingering on there. This might be your chance. But go for it.
It's me. That's it, right?
Sorry,
it's to Jordan. We're starting over.
Oh shit, that's right.
Jordan. Yeah, we're starting over.
Because you got here late, Jordan. I thought it was my turn.
I thought it was 9. I thought I was early. I don't know what happened.
Wait, it's not your turn, Peggy? I thought it was your turn.
Not yet.
Almost.
I'm on deck. You're in the hole.
So, whatever you want to pick, man.
All right, if we want to go, I'm gonna do an S. I'm gonna say Booksmart. I figured it was going to be coming up anyway, so I'm going to jump to it first because I do think it belongs in the list. And again, another one where I had some hopes, interesting first-time director from a great actress. But absolutely love these two. Beanie Feldstein is another one where, man, put her in everything. I'll be a little more inclined to see it. The relationship between those two. The laughs are here, the heartfelt's here. It's crazy over the top towards the end, but you're with it because you love these two here. I think it's Skylar Gisondo is also very funny. Who's throwing his own party. Whoever his sister, who's been in a bunch of things, she's super crazy. There's a lot of fun, different people popping up here. There's a couple funny adults here too, but it's all with the kids having more fun here. So Booksmart, I'm gonna throw out there.
All right. Well, Peggy, what do you think for Booksmart?
I'm putting Booksmart in the A tier, not exactly the S tier, because I definitely thoroughly enjoyed this movie, but I thought it got a little bit too much love, if you will. So I'm gonna just put an A instead of S. I'm sure everybody else will vote up at the S and it'll be fine. So go ahead.
Yep, I'm back.
Yep.
Sorry, I was one of those people that was absolutely obsessed with this movie. I love it so much. I think it was of 2019. I'm pretty sure it was my favorite movie of the year. I love a good coming of age film. I think Caitlin Dever, Beanie Feinstein, Billy Lord, man, dude, she steals the show in this, and it's like Olivia Wilde brings to the table, man. It's for a directorial debut. I was just like, man, I can't wait to see what she does next, and I'm already excited for her next project, which I'm pretty sure is like something, darling, you are my darling, something like that. But and Harry Styles is gonna be in it. But no, I love this movie. I am one of those people that will praise it till the day I die. A lot of people compare it to the girl version of Superbad. I think it's a way smarter film than that, because I think it actually kind of does show in life what girls and just the nowadays of like coming of age in high school and stuff like that. So
you think
I love
it's
this
a book
movie.
smarter film than Superbad?
No pun intended. I do.
Yeah.
But no, I love this movie. Maybe it's because I'm a chick. That's why I relate to it so much more. But yeah, Booksmart, S all day, every day.
Yeah. Well, Amaru, what do you think for Booksmart?
Booksmart is easy S tier. Jessica Williams is great. Jason Sudeikis is great. Everybody is great. Yes. Easy S tier for me.
Jason Sudeikis, I forgot about that. Yeah.
He's the principal.
Austin. Yep.
I just saw Booksmart. Yeah. I just saw Booksmart 2 days ago. So I haven't really sat on it or really let it sink in. So for that, I really liked it. I'll give it an A. Again, only because I haven't lived with this movie for a while. You know what I mean? I've only seen it the ones 2 days ago, so I don't think I could put something in S tier I just saw 2 days ago and call it kind of an instant classic. I was never a high school girl, so maybe that's a part of it. Again, the situation, but I really did enjoy it. Yeah, exactly. And but I do enjoy the I love One Crazy Night movies, if that makes sense. You know, just kind of a movie that takes place over one crazy night, and
those are my favorite types of movies. So yep.
Yeah, just going around a place for a whole night, encountering crazy characters, going from place to place. I love a good One Crazy Night kind of genre movie, and this is a good one. So again, I give it a strong S. I just can't get it strong A, excuse me, only because again I haven't sat on it for a while. I only saw it 2 days ago. So strong S though. I liked it.
You said it again, so we're gonna go S.
Maybe I should. Maybe I said it enough, but no, I meant A. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's the smart thing. It's Booksmart S. Yeah, I know. It's in my brain.
Well,
but Jordan,
I'm on painkillers, bitch. Like, I love this movie. Like, I think it's awesome, and probably I would give it an S tier. Like when I saw it, like, I didn't really have very much hype surrounding it. So like, I kind of like movies like that where like I go into it and I'm like not. It didn't really seem like my cup of tea, but a lot of people recommended it to me and like say it's gonna be good, and they end up loving it. Like I'm a huge fan of both of these girls. Caitlin Dever, I'm a huge Last Man Standing fan, so I love seeing her pop up there whenever she does it. And yeah, like I can't wait to see both of these girls in a whole bunch of other stuff. I think they're both gonna end up being stars in their own right, and so yeah, like I had a lot of fun with it, but I would say that would put it probably at a low S tier, but I definitely think that it belonged in the S. And also too, the way that what's her name? I'm spacing on the director, Olivia Wilde. So, yeah, so it's like how she like fought for like some of the LGBT stuff when it got censored and stuff. I thought that was a pretty cool thing.
The Delta Airlines thing, that was really weird.
Yeah.
Like them censoring the movie. Yeah, I read about that afterwards when I was kind of reading about the trivia and stuff. Yeah, it's nuts.
Because it's such nonsense that it should not exist.
It censored like 5 minutes of the movie, 5-10 minutes of the movie. It was really weird. Yeah, it was really strange.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'll give it a low S. But what do you think, Jordan?
Well, with that, we've got 4 and 2. It's kind of the exact same as Bridesmaids. So it goes. Yeah, it goes right next to Bridesmaids. Yeah, so right up there in the S tier.
All right.
For right now, and we'll see where it ends up. But for right now, that's where it goes.
I just realized I am flying Delta in a few weeks, and I'm gonna play this movie on my iPad and just like hold it up the whole time. That's what I'm doing now.
Right?
Yeah.
No?
But Paige?
No,
me
too.
No,
Peggy.
Yeah.
All right,
Jordan
so
keeps forgetting Peggy, man. What's going on here tonight?
I don't know why. Yeah. Too many P's naming.
Yeah.
Impossible
Just slip of the tongue.
but hard to remember. Name the movie. Elizabethtown. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. So I waited to name this movie because I thought maybe someone from Boston would bring it up, but I'm going to nominate Ted. I happen to love the movie Ted. I know everybody else is going to be able to throw their 2 cents in on this movie. I'm going to kind of make it short and sweet, but let me just say Giovanni Ribisi in this movie. Shut up. Dancing to Tiffany's, I think we're alone now. I don't know why that made me laugh so hard, but it did.
He's all over in this
but
movie.
Then, I mean, I love Family Guy. I love Seth MacFarlane's brand of humor, and I happen to really enjoy this movie. The sequel, not so much, but the first one, I am completely on board. The whole Sam Jones thing, it's great. But yeah, I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna say A tier. Let's see if anybody else knocks it up to S.
All right. Well, so Paige, what do you think?
I love this movie. Of course, they're pretty sure they're making a Ted prequel series. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Oh wow.
For me, this is hard. I don't know where to put it. Let me look real quick at this hot second because this. I mean, I'm a Boston girl. I love Mark Wahlberg, and I think
I'm waiting for you to dig it.
Yeah, like the accent too. Like Ted is just like one of the funniest. I think one of the funniest characters ever created, at least in the 2010s. For me, you know what? I'll give it an S because I think I'm not a fan of the second one, but the first one, I mean, it's so different. You've never seen anything really like it. I feel like it's like a Howard the Duck meets a teddy bear.
Don't you shut your don't you do that.
I'm agreeing with you though. I'm giving you an S. So
there we go.
Well, Amaru, what do you think about Ted?
Ted's cool. I think when I watched it, I tried to like it a lot more than I actually did. So I'm gonna give it a B.
All right. Sounds good. Well, Austin, what do you think?
I give it a solid A. I really like Ted. I've gone back to it once or twice. I really enjoyed it. I certainly think it's the best Seth MacFarlane creation, at least on this list, for sure. Certainly better than a certain Western on this list.
Yeah.
I think, that's. But I like Ted a lot. I'll keep it fairly short. It's like a really solid, like mid-level A. Really enjoyable when you watch it, but one of the all-time greats, maybe not. Like I couldn't personally put it above, Pop Star. This is the end. One of the ones I voted for S tier, so I can't do that. So I'll just say A.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Jordan?
yeah. Well, for me,
no, other Jordan, top Jordan.
Yeah, sorry. But for me, I'd give it a solid A. I think, but there's so many funny lines though. Like it's one of those movies that's like very quotable, and like the Thunder Buddies, you got that, and then also the I love the scene of where we're at the job interview, and he just keeps insulting the guy's wife with the whole entire time. At the end, he's like, "All right, you're hired," So that scene cracks me up every time. So yeah, so I got to give it a solid A. So I think. Probably, I don't know. Like it's the toss up between Ted and Pop Star for me. I think Ted probably edges it out. So put it probably at the top of A tier. So, but Jordan, what do you think?
Other Jordan, yes.
Yeah.
All I gotta say
Jordan,
is fuck you, Thunder. I love this world. I love spending time with Ted. I still don't know why I've never pulled the trigger on buying my own Ted. If I see it at FYE, I think next time I might have to pick it up. They still have a clearance one left. So yeah, I loved it, man. The sequel, a little bit of a diminishing returns, but I still was okay with it because I wanted to see more of these two hanging out. And it's a buddy comedy with the cursing bear who works at a grocery store. I'm down. It's an A for me too. Like I said, it's a higher A. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So it kind of goes right around mid-level A. So maybe a little bit above Jackass or Dolomite, right below World's End kind of thing. That's kind of where it goes. Yeah, right around there. We'll see what happens because we still only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 in the S tier right now. So stuff could either get bumped up or still could be getting in there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, there could be a few S's Page. Maybe.
So could be. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm surprised no one else said this movie. So, I mean, of course I'm going to say it because it's my favorite Edgar Wright movie besides Shaun of the Dead. And it's Scott Pilgrim versus the World because I flipping love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
I love Michael Cera. I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I think she is such an underrated actress. I mean, you got my man Chris Evans in it with those devilish eyebrows. I just can't get over it. Oh. And you got Aubrey Plaza. Like, you have just like so many great people in it. I love the music in it too. You have Brie Larson in it too. Like the soundtrack is killer. I own the vinyl to that. I just love every aspect of this film. I love that it's it's based off a graphic novel. And I can watch this movie any day of the week and just be satisfied and enjoy every little second. And Peggy does not agree, but I don't care because I flipping love this movie. So yeah.
So S tier for Paige,
yes.
Yeah, all right.
S tier, yes.
All right.
Well, Amaru, what do you think for Scott Pilgrim?
All right. This movie gets mentioned, and I always have to say that Scott Pilgrim is now the second worst character in a comic book movie of all time. I found the first worst in a movie called Ghost World. That little girl in Ghost World is horrible, but Scott Pilgrim is a dick.
Yeah.
I didn't say he was nice. I just love the movie, though.
I love the movie, but I do not consider it a comedy. I cannot put this in a comedy. I'm gonna be the first one to say, not a comedy for me.
Not a comedy.
What would you say it is?
Not a comic book movie. Not enough of a comedy for me to put it on this list.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough. But Austin, what do you think?
Amaru said it, and I kind of agree with him. I would put this in not a comedy. I think this is more of a straight comic book movie with some comedic elements, kind of like a Thor Ragnarok kind of a situation. Because I don't, if I had to give it a grade as a comedy or just as a movie, I would put it in the B tier. This is not my favorite Edgar Wright movie. This is probably at the bottom of the list, to be honest. I'd watch Baby Driver before I'd watch this. I enjoy it. It uses the Seinfeld theme at one point, so I appreciate that as a Seinfeld fan. But I would kind of go not a comedy. If not, I'd vote B. So one of those two.
Yeah. So what's kind of interesting to think about because it's kind of not a comedy. Like I kind of hate to really say it because I do love this movie, but yeah, it's kind of think of it as a comedy. Like it's not really like something that really gets me to laugh that much, but it's a great movie. And if you were ranking comic book movies, like I'd be like a solid A for me. But I kind of gotta maybe go with not a comedy. I feel like I mean, as much as I kind of hate to do it because I really want to rank it, but. Yeah, I think I got to say not a comedy, but
I'm mad at you all.
What do you think?
I will disagree and say this is a comedy, man. I mean, come on. Even at the end where he's about to fight himself, and instead they just walk out in with a conversation between him and his black and white self. And Jason Schwartzman's everything's funny. From beginning to end, they're throwing so many jokes at you. I think this does fall into being a comedy movie. It mixing genre, sure, but then I could say, well, it's Ghostbusters, not comedy. Like I think would be kind of my argument. So I think this is a comedy. Yeah. I think it's a very funny one, pretty consistently throughout. They're throwing a lot at you. Edgar Wright, I think, is the perfect director for this. It's already been mentioned what a great eclectic cast it is. I mean, seriously, we could go on 5 minutes just listing every little actor that pops up in this thing. So I think it does deserve to be in the A category as well.
All right.
Kieran Culkin is the one saving grace of this movie in my eyes.
Yeah.
Had my hard drive not died a couple days ago, I actually recorded myself watching this one for the first time because the families talk about this movie ad nauseum. And I figured, why not record myself watching it for the first time? And I never edited it down to like put out as like a reaction video. And I'm kind of mad I didn't, because I'm just sitting there watching it like this, like the entire time. Except for when Kieran Culkin had his like comedic one-liners, and I'm like, oh, that was funny. Like, oh yeah, he's saving the movie right now. But yeah, other than that, I mean, the weird voice Chris Evans does, I don't understand. I mean, it's a choice, and he ran with it, and that's great. But I don't know. I think people go apeshit over this movie, and I don't understand why. Scott Pilgrim is a horrible human being.
So good.
He's a dick to knives.
Yeah.
She's an amazing girl, and he's
committing a felony dating her.
That whole thing is weird that he is. Yeah, I agree with that. But overall, I just love the film so much.
I don't know. A D for me. I'm putting it a D because I don't want anywhere near the S tier.
This is why we're enemies in the Schmodown.
Yeah. Can't wait for that rematch, babe.
Yep.
Well, with all that said and done, if it has to be on the chart,
wait. So like, I ranked it not a comedy, but the more I think about it, you have Aubrey Plaza making some good comedic moments. You have a few of the supporting characters. I think that I gotta give it probably an S tier. Like I would rank it S tier either way, but I just wasn't sure if it was an actual comedy. But the more I think about it, like, screw it. It's a comedy. So, yeah.
Fucking is.
S tier. So, I'm going to throw a wrench into it. I'm going to say S tier. Let's go.
Well, despite that last push, Jordan, I appreciate it. but according to my scores here, we got 2 S's, 2 A's, a B, a D, and a not a comedy. So it kind of drags it down either to the top, probably the top of B, to be honest. The D really hurts it a lot. The D very much hurts it. Yeah. Because we had a similar situation with This Is 40. So, it kind of goes above good boys. So it doesn't.
Fish, ain't it? That's
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then we'll throw it back to Amaru, and you got one more you wanna shout out?
Amaru.
Yeah. So
sorry, it's. Once I was corrected, it irks me now. So.
Amaru, yes, but for me, I'm gonna throw in another sleeper S. I'm gonna throw in another sleeper S. This movie, it was one I was like expecting like to be all right, and I laughed my ass off at it. I liked it so much. I watched the sequel that is nowhere near as good at all.
Please say what I think you're gonna say. Please say what I think you're gonna say.
Bad Moms.
No, that's not
all right.
Yeah.
Bad Moms is one of the most underrated comedies of the 2010s. Also because I also think 2010s is not a great decade for comedies in the first place.
It's not.
I'm giving Bad Moms to S tier if we're gonna put it up there. I think it deserves it. It may be one of the lower ones. I enjoyed it more than Horrible Bosses for sure.
Okay.
So I'm giving Bad Moms S tier. I'm throwing it out there.
S tier. All right. Well, Austin, what do you think?
My ex watched this so much it annoyed the shit out of me. So I'm sorry. This movie got on my nerves so much because she used to put this on so much. Even the first time when I sat down and watched it, maybe it's because I'm not a mom. We'll go to that. I don't know, but I didn't care for almost any aspect of this movie.
I don't think anyone on this panel is a mother. They said Paige.
I don't care. I know. I'm just saying.
That I know of, at least.
I think you know.
It doesn't help. That's all I'm saying. I like Catherine Hahn. I like Mila Kunis. I like some of the people in this movie. It was average at best for me. It's like a C. C at best.
Oh, okay. A little lower than I would have thought, but yeah, for me, like I'm actually in the camp where I like Bad Moms Christmas maybe a little better. I have a lot of love for that movie. Yeah. So I mean, and also too, like
we got drunk Peggy. We got drunk Peggy.
I'm a huge fan of Christmas movies and especially Christmas comedies. Like what can I say? That's like a personal thing, but and like for Bad Moms, like I would probably give it like a B. Like I think that it's like That's fine. Like probably my favorite aspect is it was Catherine Hahn's character. Like I really like her character. I think she's fun in it. But yeah, so I'll give it a solid B. But Jordan, what do you think?
Yeah, I can't agree on the Christmas part, but yeah, I do. I like Bad Moms. I'm glad it's being talked about. I thought it was a pleasant surprise. I thought it was a bad title. I don't remember the trailer being too much in love with it, but I like all three. You mentioned Catherine Hahn; she's absolutely awesome in this. I thought it was very funny with her, and yeah, I thought it pretty consistently a decent little flick. I'd probably agree though in the B's.
Yeah. Peggy,
Now,
what do you think?
a lot of you out there in YouTube universe did not know about Catherine Hahn until Agatha came along. Now, someone like me who's a big rom-com fan.
Step Brothers, man. That's where I first jumped on board with Catherine Hahn.
10 things I hate about you. 10 things I hate about you was her big breakout role. If we're going to go deep diving on it, and I've been a Catherine Hahn stan ever since. Gotten flack for it in the past. Like everyone's like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm like, you'll find out soon enough. Like she's gonna be a big thing, and you want to know what? She's well on her way.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna vote this S as well because you want to know what? I did not think this was gonna be picked. I'm very happy that this was picked out of the 70 movies, and you want to know what? I want to keep it up there, like S tier. Love Kristen Bell. Love Mila Kunis. Love this movie. S tier.
All right, Paige, what do you think for Bad Moms?
Hot take. Maybe it's because my sister, who is not. I mean, I like to consider myself a cinephile. I really enjoy films, and I try to watch all the good ones. And my sister is obsessed with this movie, so the fact that she likes it makes me second guess it a lot. I mean, it's a good movie. I mean, it's not bad. It's funny. I don't think it's that funny. I'd give it a B. B for Bad Moms. I'm not giving it like a D for bad. I'm also very curious. I know this is as random as hell, but you guys ever thought with like grading stuff, why is there never an E? It goes D to F, no E.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm always curious about that.
Mysteries of the universe. Because it looks too similar to F. Like kids could change it on their thing. I don't know. Maybe like.
But then why not end in E and even have an F?
Yeah,
it's
weird. I don't know.
I haven't really thought about it honestly.
I don't know. I just was looking at the thing today, and I was like, "Wow, there's no E."
Well,
we used to throw an E tier on it. We never even got to E, so it's like we never got to D or F. So
Amaru shot his shot. It's not going to make it. It's not going to make it into the S tier because it has literally almost identical on my chart, the same as Jackass, with like 2 S's and a couple of B's and C. So it goes. It still makes it into the A tier, but it's kind of right next to Jackass, right around there.
All right,
but yeah,
that's fair. Well, Austin, I believe you're up. So
now, see, I thought what Amaru was going to say based on his description. It was real close. It was like, I remember really liking this. I've gone back to it a lot. I laughed a lot. It has a vastly inferior sequel. I thought he was going to say Hot Tub Time Machine, which I thought was what he was going to say. So, yeah, again, this is another one that just squeaks into 20 because it was like 2010. Like, it just squeaks into this decade, although it seems like a long time ago. It's right up in the upper right next to A Million Ways to Die in the West, up there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
There you go. So, again, I'll shoot my shot. Probably won't get it, but it's another one I think has actually really held up over time for S tier. Really good cast. You just don't see John Cusack in a lot of comedies anymore. He's kind of fallen off, and he's gone into this weird art house territory. Craig Robinson's great. You've got, Crispin Glover is in that movie, which he just doesn't show up enough. And it's like the one-armed guy who lost his arm. He's awesome. Chevy Chase. I love the whole aspect of them looking like themselves, except for when the 80s and everybody sees them as the younger version of them. I adore that stuff. Craig Robinson calling his future wife, who's like 8 years old at the time, and bawling his eyes out, saying he's sorry, is one of the funniest scenes out there. I probably get outvoted, but I adore Hot Tub Time Machine. I think it still holds up, and it has a vastly inferior sequel. So we'll see what happens, though.
Well, so for me, like for whatever reason, I'm just not a big Rob Corddry fan. Like he doesn't really make me laugh. He just doesn't do it for me. So for that, like we gotta knock it down at least to an A, maybe even a B. But
Ballers.
Dude,
Warm
when what's his
Bodies
name
wasn't-
comes to, and
one of-
Rob
one
Corddry
of the
has like
better
the soap on
movies.
his mouth, like he actually did the blowjob. It's really, really funny.
Yeah.
That scene is hilarious. He's like, hey,
I
buddy.
mean, I don't hate him. I just don't really find him like that funny. But like, I would give it probably like about a B for Hot Tub Time Machine. I mean, there's just not a lot of memorable things for me in it, and like I never really even saw the sequel. I never really cared to. And I was a little disappointed the sequel didn't have John Cusack, so that kind of brought it down a notch. Because John Cusack's probably my favorite thing. But I do like the guy. Forget the guy with the glasses and the long hair, kind of like.
Clark
I like
Duke?
him. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's pretty solid. So,
That
but
Showtime
yeah,
fucking
we're gonna give it a B.
store.
So,
God damn.
but Jordan, what do you think?
This Jordan will agree with that. Jordan, I'd put it probably in the B. It has its moments, but there's other moments that don't really win me over for me, and it's not a big repeat of mine here. I think Craig Robinson does kind of steal it for me because I like Rob Corddry, but I don't really like him in this. Which I think is potentially what they're going for to a degree, but to me it passes kind
I'll
of
say that.
to the point of not really wanting to watch him. You know what I mean? And even Cusack, it's fun seeing him in something lighter, but I don't know. He's still kind of the same Cusack that he's in other things where I don't know. I felt like it could have been a little more fun, maybe with someone else. Hate to say, so I'd say it's more in the B for me as well.
All right. Well, Peggy, what do you think?
Here's my thing. I don't write it down. I would vote it B, but I'm not putting it on the same level as Good Boys and Pilgrim. So I'm giving it an A. I enjoy this movie. It just like I expected it to be here, and it was like right here, and that's the only reason why I can't like vote it any higher. You were talking about the kid with the glasses.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go off topic again. Have you ever seen the HBO show I'm Dying Up Here? It was loosely based on the Comedy Store. That was a good show. That got canceled after season 1. I don't even know if I got a full season, but just like I just want to throw something I can't intelligently talk about out while we're talking about shit. Anyway,
right.
I'll go A. Your turn, Paige.
So Paige, what do you got?
This movie, I did not like the sequel. I really wasn't the biggest fan of this like film. Are we talking when you guys talking about glasses? You guys talking about Clark Duke?
Clark
Is
Duke.
that what we're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
Mhm.
I think he's hilarious. I love him in The Office. No matter what, it all comes back to The Office. For me though, I was gonna go B, but I mean the fact that you guys gave Scott Pilgrim a friggin' B, I'm gonna go C. Damn it!
Oh, I see.
Yeah, revenge time for Pilgrim.
Yep.
Well, Mara, what do you think?
So I said it with Ted. It was a movie that like I watched and tried to make myself laugh at more than I actually thought it was funny. Except for Ted. With Ted was funny. This movie is not. It's a D.
Yeah.
I don't like this film in any way. And what hurts my heart the most is I like Craig Robinson as a person. He's just not that funny to me, and I really want to like him.
But he's in The Office too. Yep, it all goes back to The Office. Yeah,
I don't think he's that funny, but I will continue to watch him to try to see. But yeah, this movie, I just thinking back at it, I didn't think it was funny at all. It's a D.
Well, with that, Austin, where we at?
It's right around Scott Pilgrim in the B tier. Yeah, right around there.
All right. Well, we could put it right there. That sounds fair enough. So it's my turn now, and I'm trying to decide between a couple because there's one I really want to go for. I just don't think maybe anyone would agree with me, but because I kind of want to go with the one that's hanging on my wall behind me, maybe, but mostly I just have that poster on the wall because I think it's a cool poster. But
oh my god, I just realized a movie wasn't on here that should be.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going.
What's that one?
Nope, you say your thing first. I apologize. I really didn't mean to.
Well, probably as much as I want to go for the night before because I already mentioned I'm a fan of Christmas comedies. I don't know, like it's either that or between We're the Millers. Those are like the two that I'm kind of hovering over. So I think that I gotta go with We're the Millers. I think probably.
Wow.
So yeah, this movie makes me laugh so much, and like especially I always forget the name of the oldest son though. Just the way that he's singing like TLC.
Porter.
Yeah, Will Porter. Yeah,
Poulter.
He just cracks me up so many times.
Poulter, Poulter, excuse me.
Yeah, Poulter. But But the only thing is, though, like I can't quite put it in the S tier because I don't really like Ed Helms in the movie. I think he kind of brings the movie down for me. But like the dynamic of the family, it was just great. And also when they meet up with Nick Offerman and his wife, like that. Those scenes are hilarious for me. But I think I got to give it an A, probably like somewhere around long shot. So for me, like it could make an honorable mention. So I'll just give it that. So yeah, I'll put it in the A. But Jordan, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm happy this is being brought up, man. This was a really fun theater experience. I remember me and whoever I went with, we all really kind of liked this. It had good laughs in the theater here. First look, as far as I remember, from Will Poulter, who has become just a really great actor in general, any kind of genre. Aniston, speaking of being very sexy and Bosses, she has a dance routine here. I think Sudeikis is absolutely hilarious. Yeah, there's enough laughs. I believe Nick Offerman's wife is Catherine Hahn, right? Shout out to
she's
her
in all
again.
of these movies. Yeah.
So yeah, again,
she's kind of the unsung MVP of this decade. Kind of unsung. Yeah.
Trying to get frisky with the Millers is very funny. Those two played off in a great awkward way. So I'm gonna say let's keep it in the A's for me as well. It's one that I enjoy.
Yeah, Peggy, what do you think?
Well, forever and always adore Jason Sudeikis. This movie didn't do it for me. I'm giving it a B.
All right. Fair enough.
Short and
Paige,
sweet.
what do you think?
For me, I really enjoyed this movie. I really liked it. I don't mind watching it whenever it's on like TV. I don't think I own it, and I own a lot of movies. For me personally, though, I think I'm gonna give it a B. I love it, but it's not like one that I'm just like, yes, I have to. But the movie I was thinking was Jojo Rabbit.
Oh yeah, but it was kind of borderline because I wasn't sure if it was considered like a full-on comedy. I mean, maybe, but
I know what you mean. I understand.
Yeah,
I think I tried. I tried.
You guys did a great job. So
yeah, but well, Amaru, I'm trying to pronounce your name right.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
So
think?
I think it's hilarious that they give the two people who look exactly the same in Sudeikis and Helms in the same movie. And I'm like, wait, were they?
I thought for a second it was like Ed Helms in that movie. Do you mean Sudeikis?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah,
all the time.
He plays the villain
All the time.
Yep.
I think they're the same person, or at least a variant. They're variants of each other. We'll go with that.
Sudeikis is a lot better looking.
That's very true. I can.
You got Olivia Wilde. Let's just say that.
I can definitely see that. No regrets though at all. I enjoyed this film. I would give it an A.
All right.
No regrets here, man. No regrets.
None.
And I'm going to be kind of the wet blanket. I like Sudeikis a lot too, but this movie did almost nothing for me. I got a few laughs here and there, mostly from Offerman and Catherine Hahn. C for me. I didn't think it was that great. I haven't gone back to it. It was kind of long. Like I didn't really get into it. So sorry.
So with that, we got a few A's. We got a C. We got a B. I think.
And a couple of B. It kind of goes like top of B or low A, something like that. Kind of in there.
You put it at the top of B. I feel like
Yeah, top of B.
But with that though, so we're gonna move into the speed round. So like at this point, just kind of due to time, like if anyone has anything that they think they can just shout out that might deserve an S tier, like we can just throw it up there. You think anyone might?
I mean, all right. So I am obsessed with Edge of 17. I know it's not the order. Sorry, I don't know if you just said shout. I love Edge of 17. I kind of consider that more of a coming of age film. But I mean,
I would actually agree with that.
I love that movie though.
Yeah,
I think that movie's hilarious. I also love the interview. I mean, that movie couldn't go to theaters because we thought like North Korea or South Korea, whatever, was gonna like bomb us because of the whole thing. I thought that movie was priceless. I'm trying to think. I like Deadpool, but I think that's more of a superhero movie, even though it definitely has it's mainly a comedy. But yeah, I mean, I would say Edge of 17 in the top 10, but it is And just shout out to Little Monsters because I freaking love that movie. And I don't know if many people have seen it, but Lupita Nyong'o is hilarious. That movie is just a great zombie flick. Did I say it right?
I just watched it.
Nyong'o.
Oh, whatever.
Good Josh Gad.
I just watched Little Monster for the first time 2 days ago and had a lot of fun with it. So yeah,
It is a fun movie.
I have 3. I'll go from the bottom. I thought Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle was the biggest surprise of the entire decade. I thought it was going to be trash, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
I didn't want to like that.
I thought it was good. But the first one, I will like. If somebody else wants to put it in S tier, so here's my second. If somebody else wants to put it in S tier, I will go with them. Logan Lucky needs to be mentioned. Soderbergh is a genius, and Logan Lucky is a really, really, really good movie. It's a different type of comedy. It's Daniel Craig's funniest role ever. Above Benoit Blanc.
I would agree with that.
So if anybody else wants to do that, but the one I'm actually nominating that like just need to have time, this should be an S tier movie, period, is Girls Trip. Girls Trip is fucking hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. And that is an official Hail Mary nomination. Girls Trip has to get, for me, nominated as an S tier movie.
I feel like I've never heard Amaru swear, so I feel like we have to give it to an S now. I swear all the time. I agree with Girls Trip. So what's everyone else got?
Trainwreck for me.
Trainwreck
for me. Bill Hader as a romantic lead was crazy. I loved it. And you want to know what? LeBron James is actually not too shabby as an actor and playing himself in this movie. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend you do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I feel like if we can get at least 3 votes for the
I'm jotting. I'm kind of jotting. Just to let you, I'm trying to jot down the ones that kind of get the most yes reactions. I'm trying to like from each one, and then we'll kind of go through the list that I have here and maybe see where everybody stands on a few of those very quickly, just kind of up down the line. So, but Jordan, you got a Hail Mary real quick or 1 or 2?
Yeah, I was gonna back up a couple ones that have been mentioned already. I'll agree with Trainwreck and I'll agree with Logan Lucky. I love those two so much where I think I would love for them to be up there as well. So
I'm jotting a few of these down and then we'll take some quick votes. So for me, the only other one I could say, Bad Words. One of the most underrated movies of the decade.
I haven't seen that one.
Really good. The dynamic with him and the kids.
Favorite Bateman.
Favorite Bateman? Wow.
Maybe one of the
favorite Bateman's performance.
I would say that's high praise for Bateman, though.
He's pure Bateman in that movie.
He's like
different. Unadulterated Bateman.
He's
completely sarcastic Dick Bateman in that, and it's really good.
How's that different?
That would be mine.
How is that
It's turned up to like 11 in that movie, and it's towards kids. It's towards like 8-year-olds. That's why.
Okay. All right, I'll have to see that
towards
one.
adults.
I'll have to see that one.
It's really
I'm
good.
horrible at spelling, and Rue knows that firsthand. So that's why I just wanted not my alley at all.
Right. And Anderson Jordan, do you have 1 or 2 you would throw up there? I'm kind of jotting a few down here, and then we'll go down the list that I have. Jordan,
for the most part. Like I would just agree with like some of the ones that have been mentioned. Like I definitely agree with Bad Words, probably Edge of 17, maybe even Trainwreck. So I probably would agree with those 3.
All right, so I've got a couple here, and unless anybody has any
no
ones.
women. No women.
Well, I do want to give a shout out to one movie. I want to give some love to Big Time Adolescence because for me, for a Pete Davidson movie, I thought that it was better than The King of Staten Island. That's just me. Like I'm not even like a huge fan of King of Staten Island, but
while I adore Bill Burr, I don't know.
Peggy, what were you saying? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. I apologize.
I said while I adore Bill. No, I was just.
No, I mean before that.
Oh, I said someone said and then I said no and then I was quoting fucking Ashton Kutcher and
then.
But yeah,
all right. So what I've got, what I kind of jotted down, I've got 6 on here that kind of got the most reactions. So maybe we'll just go down to the 6. So the first we'll go with Jumanji. Where's everybody on Jumanji? We'll just make very quick ratings, up and down. So.
All right. Well, let's go for the bottom up then. Go fast.
Bottom up. So Jordan, real fast. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Low A.
Okay.
B.
Okay.
A.
All right. Well, it's not going to make it.
Yeah, not gonna make it. I was gonna get an A. Just wanted to see.
Yeah, A. So yeah, it's not going to make it.
Let's say a high A.
All right, so yeah, it'd be kind of in those A's, but probably not even honorable mention A's. So we'll move on. Bad words. Everybody on bad words. Jordan.
I'd say
Well, or either Jordan, bottom Jordan. We'll just go up.
Bottom Jordan.
Low A.
Have not seen it.
Low A. Okay, not seen it. Paige.
C.
C. Wow. Okay.
I haven't seen it.
Going.
Okay.
Oh,
I go S. And I know other
I'd
Jordan
go
goes
S also. Yep. Okay,
But
I'd
even
say
with the
S,
two S's, the C kind of drags it. So maybe in mid-level A, but could fight for an honorable mention maybe. But we'll see.
Yeah. I'll just kind of.
So I'll put a star next to that maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe just throw it up in like mid A, and maybe we'll play around with it a little bit.
You could do that. Just throw it in mid A, or even at the
we'll see,
bottom
because
of A.
this may be arguing stuff that gets moved up or honorable mentions. So we'll play around with it. I heard a lot for Logan Lucky, so we'll go up and down the road for Logan Lucky. Jordan at the bottom.
I'll do S.
Okay.
I gotta say, have not seen it because I've only seen half of it. So
okay.
I gotta abstain.
B.
B. Okay.
I'll go low S.
S. Haven't seen it. Have to abstain. Jordan.
And I would say C because I fell asleep during the movie. So, so yeah, in the theater.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
Kind of the
Fell
same
asleep during the
thing.
Saint.
It would have to fall at the bottom of A, unfortunately. So it may get in there, maybe not. We'll see. It gets on the board, but not terribly high. All right. Yeah. So I heard a lot of comments on Girls Trip, so we'll go with Girls Trip real quick. Bottom, Jordan.
Low A.
A.
Okay.
I would actually go S. This movie is hilarious, and I completely forgot it was on the list. So yeah.
Okay. Amaru?
Big S. Definite S.
Big S. C. I'm sorry. What's her name? Tiffany Haddish annoys the shit out of me. She's the female Kevin Hart. I'm sorry. She annoys the shit out of me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't lie. She does. Sorry. Jordan.
I'd probably have to give it a B. I mean, for Tiffany Haddish, well, alone I'd give it an S, but I mean, the rest of the movie is, I didn't care for, so B.
You ain't ready.
Honestly, I'd rather watch the Girls Trip, but that's missing me.
So with those, it can go up into that A tier, which is getting very crowded, but we'll play around with that. So you can move Girls Trip up in there.
All the way at the bottom.
Bottom, I think,
bottom right. Oh, yeah. Bottom right next to Death at a Funeral, yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I've got two more here that I heard a lot of nominations for, so I'll go with the next two. I'll go with Edge of 17, so we'll go up the row for Edge of 17.
A.
Okay.
If we were ranking coming of age, it would be S, but comedy, I'm going B.
For me, I mean, to me, I consider this more of a coming of age film, but I think it's hilarious, so I'm gonna go A.
Not a comedy. Love the film. Other list, sure, but not a comedy.
I go B. It was fine. I liked it. Nothing wrong with it, but B.
And I would say S. I freaking adore this movie. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great coming of age movie. I mean, and there are comedic moments, but it's not all comedy. It's all
like coming of age movies funny. In 2010. This would be in the S tier.
S tier.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, if you do coming of age movies, I'm in.
Same.
Gotcha. So I think we had enough almost not comedy votes that we're probably not going to throw it up there, to be honest.
Right.
From what I heard. So, and Trainwreck is the last one, yes, that I heard a lot of votes for. So we'll go Trainwreck, and we'll start at the bottom. So
S.
Jordan.
S.
Okay. S.
I'd say A.
Paige. Tomorrow.
Someone give it an S though, so we can freaking just get it on the list, so we can.
Move on.
I'm giving it an S as well.
Love it.
A for Bill Hader, more than Amy Schumer.
Nearly drafted it.
Yeah. I would say A also because Amy Schumer honestly annoys me, but I freaking love Bill Hader, so it's kind of that mix right there.
But Jordan, it got 3 S's. It got the same as Tucker and Dale, so it might squeak into S tier at the bottom.
Yeah.
Squeak in just barely.
I think so.
Just barely.
The Peggy influence of the draft. I love it.
All right.
Put it right there.
Okay. All right. And actually, Horrible Bosses had one B, so move it above Horrible Bosses, actually, according to my chart.
That, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Corey, again, this is why I keep the notes. This is why I keep them. It's very, very helpful.
Exactly.
When it comes down to it. So
Wait, guys,
I think
we
that was
still have one more film we have to throw on there.
well. Here's the thing. No, we don't necessarily have to throw it up there. We can move stuff up from the A tier. That's the point into the final top 10, and then have honorable mentions. So stuff can get bumped now. Because unless you get another movie down this that hasn't been mentioned that gets like at least 3 S's or 4 S's, it's probably not going to make it. It's not going to make it.
I think this is good then, and we can just take something from the A tier then.
Unless somebody didn't get to throw out an honorable mention. I think everyone got one, right?
Yeah. So we have 9 solid S tiers right now. So 1 is going to scoot up from the A tier into S. So I'm going to scoot back to my ratings and kind of see what we've got. So let's see. Pop Star had 2 S's.
Aptly named.
This is the end had 2 S's. Long Shot had 1 S, so it's not going to make it because it didn't have as many S's. So I'm sorry. It could make it into the honorable mentions. We have 3 honorable mentions. It could still make it into the poll. I'm simply going by my charts. Let's see. Ted had only 1 S. Unfortunately, Jackass had a C, which dragged it down pretty good. MacGruber didn't have any S's, so I think really it's from the 4 that are right there at the top of A. It's between Pop Star, This Is the End, Long Shot, and World's End as to what gets bumped up and what's going to the honorable mentions. So as far as the ones that get bumped up, it's either got to be Pop Star or This Is the End, according to my chart, pretty much, because everything else only had like an S vote. So it's got to be one of those.
Pop Star for me.
Well, I haven't seen Pop Star, and I have no desire.
I would go Pop Star.
Long shot.
I'm sorry, Peggy.
Long Shot's good.
I'm sorry, Peggy.
I would go Girls Trip, but
I will die on that hill. That's fine.
I think Long Shot deserves an honorable mention, but I think that the Pop Star
That's cool.
for me.
Actually, you know what? Ted. Let's get Ted up there.
Ted.
Well, so Jordan, I think Pop Star's going to take that 10 spot, it looks like, but we could debate over these 3 honorable mention spots. So I would say more Pop Star, and then we'll debate over these 3. So what gets those 3 top of A's? What's going to get it?
I think Long Shot definitely deserves an honorable mention, I would say.
Long Shot could be honorable mention. I'm okay with that.
I think Long Shot. I think Dolomite is my name, and Girls Trip should be on there.
Those are my 3. Those are my 3. Long Shot just off of word of mouth, and based off of what Peggy said, I'm gonna love it when I see it. Dolomite, I think Dolomite and Girls Trips are both better than Horrible Bosses, and I probably will like better than Pop Star.
I never saw Dolomite, but I'd be all right.
Rue, I kind of want you to wait to watch Long Shot, and so we can watch it together.
Sure. But Girls Trip is my other one for sure.
Girls Trips is my other one, definitely.
Sure. I feel like we have enough votes for it, so I mean, I think that's probably fair. I'm not high on it, but
I'm good with that.
But everybody else is, so I mean, I think that to make it fair.
Here's the thing. I'm the wet blanket because I gave Girls Trip a C. This Is the End didn't have any C's or anything below a B, and it had 2 S votes. Yeah. And Girls Trip had 2 S votes. And I
love This Is the End.
And here's the thing. Dolomite, you guys are saying Dolomite, but it didn't have any S votes whatsoever. None. And Girls Trip and This Is the End both had S votes.
I moved it up.
You said A. I still got you on A.
I would vote. Oh, I did say A, huh? Crap.
You said A. It's kind of late for that. I apologize.
I'll stick with what I have then, I guess.
I think Girls Trip and This Is the End make it, but Dolomite doesn't.
That's fine with me. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be Girls Trip and This Is the End, and Dolomite just misses it. Just because of the voting. Again, I'm just going to the voting. That's it. So.
Because for me personally, I like This Is the End better.
The other ones have S tier votes, and Dolomite didn't.
I haven't seen Dolomite, so I can't.
Yeah, and I haven't either. So it also may come down to what we've actually seen. So it unfortunately it's one of those things. But yeah.
What are we?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Now we gotta rank the.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
We're gonna be forever.
Yeah, literally.
I think what we do in the shadows is right where it needs to be. Right at the top. I think what we do in the shadows is right there. And
the nice
both
guys
that and Nice Guys had clean sweeps in the S tier, so they definitely both.
That works for me. Yeah. I feel like. I feel like
And
21
21
Jump
Jump
Street's good.
Bridesmaids
I feel
and
like-
21 Jump Street had the same votes, so I
Right.
mean those are pretty.
I'm okay with
exact
those two.
42.
Yeah, they are.
I'm
Yeah,
kind
same.
of I'm kind of okay with where everything is.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
cool.
Did
Yeah, I'm
did
kinda
21
cool,
have
yeah.
more than Booksmart?
Let's go with that.
What's
What'd
that?
you say?
What was 21 compared to Booksmart?
21 had 4 S's and 2 A, and Booksmart had kind of the same, but so it's right where it needs. All 3 of those had 4 S's and 2 A's, so they're kind of all right there. So we could play around with the order, but they all had pretty much the same
All right.
votes.
I got Bridesmaids and
yeah.
Booksmart
I'm
over
happy with
21, but they're all kind of the same.
Yeah.
See, I got 21
I think
over both
Bridesmaids
those,
is
but
funnier than 21
same.
Jump Street.
I do not agree. I do not agree.
But they, I mean, the
I'll
other
put 21
yeah.
over it. Yeah.
only because I only saw Booksmart 2 days ago. That's the only reason. So I can't put it higher than 21 or
But what about
Bridesmaids. I just
Bridesmaids?
can't.
Wouldn't you put Bridesmaids over 21?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I
I
wouldn't.
wouldn't. No.
Bridesmaids.
Because it doesn't have
and again,
a
no. The length,
vagina.
and again, for me, the length kills it. The length kills it. It's over 2 hours. That kind of
Yeah,
hurts
yeah.
it to me, for me.
It is a
The
little
rest
same,
is
same.
too long.
And
No,
I
I
didn't love
think-
every
I
performance in
think
it.
this is a good list, though. I mean,
I'm
I've
cool with
never
the
seen
I'm cool
Popstar,
with the list.
and I will never see it,
Never
though.
saw it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mhm.
I love how Trainwreck snuck
never
into
see
the S tier right at the
Yep.
end. I love
Right
it.
at the end. Hey,
Yep.
and he
Right
got
at the end.
7th
Peggy,
place. We were just
Peggy,
kidding.
we've had stuff like that happen
ninth,
before,
8th.
especially on our horror shows. Something
I
sneaks
dig
in
it.
right
Yeah.
at the end that people kind of it just doesn't get mentioned because of time. But
Like
we've had
surprise.
stuff sneak in right at the end. It's
It
happened.
was number
It's
1 on
absolutely
my
happened
list.
on
I
the
just
show.
didn't draft it.
All right. Well, it's in
It's
there.
S tier. But well, Austin, so as the co-host, you want to break
it
down our top 10 and the 3 honorable?
All right. So to wrap it all up, at number 1 with a bullet, we've got What We Do in the Shadows from Taika Waititi. Number 2, we've got Shane Black's The Nice Guys. Number 3, we've got the remake of 21 Jump Street. Number 4, we've got Paul Feig's Bridesmaids. Number 5, we've got Olivia Wilde's directorial debut with Booksmart. Number 6, we've got the surprising hit of the decade, Game Night, sneaking in there. Number 7, we've got Tucker and Dale versus Evil, the horror parody. Number 8, we got Judd Apatow's Trainwreck. Number 9, we've got Horrible Bosses. Number 10, we've got The Lonely Islands, Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping. And our 3 honorable mentions, we've got Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron in Long Shot. We've got Girls Trip, and we've got This Is the End, rounding out the honorable mentions.
All right, that's it. Thanks,
Good
guys.
job,
That was a good
everybody.
time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a lot of
Love
fun.
it.
Hey, and you know what always ends up with these tier rankings? We have a really wide range of movies there. I mean, a ton of different types of movies, which is always kind of what happens. No, they're not all the same, which is the cool thing. We had it same in our '90s one; they were not all the same type of comedy. Lots of diversity as far as the picks up there. So I really like it.
Yeah, and as always, we're gonna throw this in a poll over in the Schwinn on Friends and Family group tomorrow. So if you're watching and you want to go vote for your favorite, you can vote, and we'll see what the community thinks of our list. We'll see if they roast us in the comments or if they agree with us. You never know. So anything's possible. So yeah, but thank
Nothing
you so
in the
much,
F
guys.
tier. Nothing in the F tier.
Come on. Yeah, right.
Usually we end up
I
missing
can
one or
put
two
some
in
stuff in the F tier if you
No,
want. Tag.
Real quick, do you want to?
No, we're good.
Ooh,
Chips.
no, we're good. Chips, yeah, I agree with Chips. Yeah,
No way.
Yes,
Jordan
definitely
loves Chips though.
Chips is awesome. I freaking love that movie. I laughed so hard at that movie for whatever reason.
You're
I'm
the
just a
only
low-key
one.
Dax Shepard fan, so that's just a personal guilty pleasure. But
I am too outside of that movie.
He's an armchair.
yeah.
Yeah, I listen to the
Oh, yeah.
podcast.
A shout out to our friend Chris Scott, who we love greatly, but he loves like Little Fockers, and that's like an F tier for me. I'm sorry, that movie's
Yeah,
not awful.
right.
I'm
Everyone's
so
got their
sorry. Yeah, everybody's got their
Death at a
thing.
Funeral,
If you like it, you like it.
We
Yeah,
fought hard for Death at a Funeral. I was like, that's like a D for me. So yeah, but
the original.
Funeral's a good one.
but well, with that, we'll just go around the horn, and if you have anything you want to promote, you can let us know where we can find you. So we'll start with Paige. Where can we find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Front Page News 9. I also run my own movie blog on Instagram titled Feature Flicks without the K. Nope, without the K. Nope, without the C. Making stuff up as we go along. It's without the C. No, and you guys can catch me July 21st. My big match against Rachel Switchblade Silverstreamy. I guess everyone wants me to hate the Den. So Going hunting,
All right.
guys. That's me loading my shotgun that I don't have because guns are bad. But no, yeah. Thank you guys so much for having me on. Peggy, go watch What We Do in the Shadows because
I will. I absolutely will.
One of my favorite movies of all time,
damn
and I'm
good.
so
You go
glad
watch
that it
Long
made
Shot,
the number
whatever.
one spot. And I really do like our list, guys. I think it's very diverse, and they all make me chuckle. So yeah.
Yeah, but I know we're never going to convince you, Paige, to see Pop Star, but if it,
Yeah, you won't.
if you ever decide somewhere in some crazy bizarre world to check it out,
I'll tell you what to do with Pop Star.
Release the music.
Go watch some of the
Paige, have you
music
watched-
videos from it to start, and if it intrigues you, then watch the movie because some of the stuff, the clips are really, really funny.
I do like that song. Yeah.
Yeah, but Peggy, where can we find you at?
You can find me at Peggy B Ball across all the social media platforms that I actually participate in. I'm not a big TikToker. I've got an account, but I've never sent a TikTok in my life. Anyway, I also host a show over on one of the family pages. It's called Featured Presentation Productions. If you are not familiar, go find it. There's a lot of fun things going on over there that you can actually participate in and kind of feel like a Schmodown competitor when you're doing it. But I have a show there every Wednesday called Fantasy Film Fights, where you just take a random film topic and we draft it like fantasy football style. Tomorrow, we are drafting movies with 4 words in the title. So it could be any movie you want as long as there's 4 words in the title. So that's going to be a fun one. And yeah, it's just it's a random topic every week. And anyone is welcome to join. We put out a sign-up sheet every month. So we try to get as many people in and involved as we possibly can. And yeah, it's just a fun time. So if any of you guys out there are interested and want to draft a team of like a random film topic every month, there's completely different topics. So come and join us. It's fun.
I have been on it. It actually is
She
a fun
has.
time.
Ruth's been on it. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
I'd love to be on it.
Yeah. Sign up sheets there for you. Featured Presentation Productions. Search it on Facebook. Tony will appreciate you for doing it. So.
All right.
Guy runs it.
But Jordan, where can we find you?
We got the Pierce Co. Do my podcast, a show about shows, some movie trivia rather. The Pierce Wrestling, we do wrestling trivia over there as well as live matches, and then of course the Real Pro Wrestling, RPW's company I help run here in Florida. Saturday we're live in Punta Gorda, Florida, over at the Harbor Event Center. So check that out as well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
All right.
And I have a bit of a confession. I'm not able to roll my R's. I have a bit of a hard time pronouncing your name, Amaru. But
all good. All good.
But where can we find you at?
Yeah, we apologize all night if we mispronounce. We are so sorry. But you've been a great guest, so we do appreciate you putting up with us.
It is a 32-year struggle, so I am good, and it's all good as long as you try.
He didn't correct me for the longest, and I felt like the biggest asshole. So
you can find me at Amaru Moses on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm also at Bite Size Breakdown. I write with a crew of writers. We do movie reviews, TV reviews, 100 words or less, primarily on IG. And then my YouTube channel, Yuri Reviews. I also have a show that is also free to sign up. I post it every other week, though I am pushing this week. I need a break. I've had a long last couple of weeks. But it's called One Gotta Stay. So I give you 4 choices from a topic of kind of impossible to choose from. And instead of picking the one that has to go, you pick the one that's got to stay.
I was on the most recent episode, right?
You were, yep. You only get to keep the work of the one thing, and the work of everything else is gone. So whether that means it's gone from history, you never get to listen to it again, whatever you want, that's what happens. And the last episode, the Family 4 was on it, as well as Tony from Featured Presentation, and our good friend Garth. It was the 4 Chris's. So Chris Evans, Chris Pine, Chris Hemsworth, and Chris Pratt. You had to pick the work from which one of the 4 stays and the rest goes. And at the same time, you also rank them. Who would leave first, who would leave second, who almost stayed, but ultimately who was the one that you pick. And I do all kinds of topics, music, movies, TV, anime, actors, actresses. So look at my posts if there's ever a topic that interests you.
And he does these fun little like riddles
Yes.
Like, yeah,
Yes.
they're the best.
I'm still waiting for
Awesome.
him to ask me to be on it.
You just sign up, Paige. You don't gotta ask.
Sounds like
Just
a good
sign
time.
up.
The shade, the unnecessary
up.
shade.
Just sign up.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what topic you like or you want. That's why I tell everybody, if
I'll
you
do
like the
anything.
topic,
Yeah.
just sign up. It is an open call.
I got
Let me know.
Sounds good. Austin, where can we find you? I mean, I know you're all over this.
Mr.
network,
Owens,
but-
yeah, I'm all over this stuff. Mr. Owens, I should let you know, I've been creeping into the wrestling trivia community because I don't know if you know this, I refereed professional wrestling for 15 years. So I am in the business.
Shit.
So you should reach out. You're muted. You're muted.
I referee.
You're muted. There you go. Yeah. I've refereed for 15 years all around Florida. So I'm in the business. So I'm creeping in there. I'm gonna judge Chokeslam pretty soon. So we're gonna be in there. But anyway, sorry. Getting back to Movie Hero Network. Yeah, tomorrow night we've got a new episode of Tournament Fights. Tournament Fights is one of my new favorite shows on the channel. We're doing game shows. We're gonna throw them on to March Madness tournament, and we vote on them on random brackets and see who comes out on top. It's always a lot of fun. And then Peggy, you might introduce. You mentioned b-ball. Well, we're starting baseball tier ranker fights next week. We're starting our sports series.
B-ball and
yeah, and I know.
B-ball in my handle stands for basketball, yo.
Yeah, right.
But I'm only
We want
telling
to do
you
a basketball
because.
tournament, though.
Well, no. We're starting our sports series of tier ranker fights. So we're starting with America's pastime of baseball. So we're starting with that, baseball movies. But then we're going to jump to football movies, then basketball movies, and then combat sports and winter sports and all kinds of stuff. So so especially for basketball, if you want in on the basketball when we get to it, absolutely, we'll hit you up.
I'm in on the baseball.
Yeah,
football,
we're starting our sports series, so that's next week, next Wednesday. So we're starting with baseball just because it's it'll probably be up there most likely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But yeah, and you can find me all over the Movie Hero Network. I'm usually Jordan Movie Hero. I did haha for tonight, little like cheesy joke there, but but yeah, and then definitely have a whole bunch of tier ranker fights, tournament fights coming up. We got one on best stand-up comedians of all time coming up. we got a 90s horror one coming up. But yeah, we're always looking for more people. So if any of the topics seem like some of you'd be interested in, just hit me up for it. So we definitely have those ones coming up. And then let's see what else we got. Also, we just started a podcast called Podcast League Now. We just made some little shirts for our podcast.
So
look at you all repping your shirt.
Look at those shirts. Beautiful.
Look at that.
We just dropped an episode this
Is that
morning.
is that like a little animated microphone, dude?
He's a little microphone man. Yeah, winking at you.
I dig it.
Microphone man.
Yeah, so if you want to get an insight into our lives and some of like personal stories, some fun kind of hijinks, just stuff where we're not talking so much about movies, but a little bit, kind of loosely. Then you can watch that. You can find out more about me and Austin and our other host, Chris Scott, who was chiming in the comments a little bit. And so and then also we started a Seinfeld review show called Hello from Movie Hero, a show about nothing.
That's belly button.
So we were the voice.
Hello.
I'm bored.
Yeah.
Come talk to me.
Yeah. So that's where you can find us. And also you can find us on the Showdown Friends and Family group on Facebook. We're going to have the poll from today's episode. We're going to put the top 10 plus the 3 honorable mentions in a poll, so you can go vote for that and then let us know what you think of our list that we came up with today. And if you want to talk Schmodown, we also talk a lot of Schmodown. We don't just use the name for fun. We definitely promote a lot of matches and have fun talking Schmodown. So yeah, that's where you can find us. So yeah, this has been fun. So I'll say for Paige, for Peggy, for Jordan, for Amaru, for Austin, I have been Jordan Movie Hero Anderson, and we will see you next time.